Baldoni has just dropped a lawsuit against the New York Times. If you guys remember, New York Times wrote this article saying we can bury anyone inside a Hollywood smear machine. So Justin Baldoni and team, this includes Jennifer Abel, who was his publicist at the time, and Melissa Nathan, who was the crisis PR team that he hired. And there's also someone named Jed as well. I think Jed was a person who was running all the social medias and stuff. But they are going after the New York Times, and they filed this lawsuit in California. Now, what also happened at the same day was Blake Lively. She also filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and his company, Wayfair. It's just called Wayfair. Is it like Wayfair Productions? It might be Wayfair Productions. But she also filed a lawsuit, but in New York, against Justin Baldoni. So we got all these lawsuits, these complaints flying left and right. And what a crazy way to end the year. And it's like, yo, let me just like get my lawsuit in before the year ends. Like, I wonder, is there... like, why are we... Oh, is there an echo? No echo? No echo? Okay, let me know. Hopefully no echo. Oh, do you have me on like multiple browsers, maybe on YouTube or on Twitch, maybe? Hi, Julia. How are you doing today? Happy New Year. How's it going? Hello, hello. So as I was beginning to wind down a little bit yesterday on New Year's Eve, I was like, you know what? Let me check what's going on YouTube. And usually YouTube is where I get like my news like pretty quickly. And then I see Blake Lively drops a lawsuit, Justin Baldoni suing. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much shit that's happening. So I spent my New Year's Eve just reading this complaint. It is pretty long, but I think a lot of it's filled with text messages, so it's not too bad. But let's see. I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit ambitious today and think I can get this done in under like an hour and a half. Maybe, possibly. You don't see the YouTube chat overlay? Oh yeah, I turned it off. I had this one stream that I was doing. I had a bunch of... It was like a bunch of spam follows. It was really weird because I haven't had that in so long. Where are my overlays? Where is the chat? Oh no, you guys are not here. YouTube chat. I don't know why YouTube chat is not showing. I don't think any of it is Twitch chat showing too. Let's refresh cache. Okay, there's this one. Hi Claire, how are you doing today? Hi Bleep. Hello, hello. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year. Okay, so they are showing. Why is YouTube chat no showing? YouTube, come here. Come here, YouTube. I don't know. YouTube chat is not showing. I don't know why. Okay, we'll figure out a different stream. I don't know. It should be showing. Hello, yes. I hope you guys had a good New Year. Jesus, we're already in 2025. Crazy how time flies. Crazy, crazy. So yesterday, I actually was working on a video where I summarized the complaint that Blake Lively filed against Justin Baldoni and his team. But this was a complaint that was filed to the California Civil Rights Department. Every time I say that, I always have to think what it is because I always forget. I always forget how to say it. So she filed a complaint with them, and I essentially did a stream where it was like 3.5 hours long. I thought I could complete it in like 1 hour. I don't know what I was thinking. So I did a recap of it, a shortened version of it. So if you guys don't want to watch the 3.5 hour stream where I'm reading the entire complaint, you can go watch the recap where I just pick out the craziest accusation. I mean, I pretty much covered most of it though. Didn't cover the full timeline, but pretty much some of the crazy ones that really stood out to me. So definitely check that out. And then all of a sudden, you know, when I was done with that video, I was like, okay, cool. I can rest now. I can just chill, you know, get this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni drama out of my head. Boom. We have a lawsuit that was dropped by Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Everyone's just suing each other. I wonder if Justin Baldoni is planning on going after Blake Lively next, or are they just, you know, kind of just waiting? I don't know. I wonder what's happening. Hey, Kayla streaming. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing today? How's it going? Hello, hello. Thank you so much for coming over. What were you streaming earlier? Fucking Back to the Future lied to me. Still waiting on my damn hoverboard. No hoverboards. Okay, hoverboards sounds so scary. I don't know about that. I don't know about them damn hoverboards. Let's see. Is the YouTube chat, is it? Okay, so YouTube is working. I just want to make sure. Okay, looks like we're good. Looks like we're good. The stream elements is running. Okay, all right. Things are happening. What were you streaming earlier? Oh, you're just chatting. Okay, cool. I do remember things. Yay! Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like shout out's the easiest thing that we can do. Thank you so much. So let's get through this lawsuit that was filed from Justin Baldoni and his team. Again, it's Justin Baldoni. Oh, I forgot to mention the CEO of Wayfarer Studios, his name is Jamie Heath. I thought his name was James Heath. Did I have his name wrong the entire time? Oops, I'm so sorry. I think I called him James the entire time. My bad. We have Steve Sarowitz. We have Melissa Nathan, the agency, and Jennifer Abel, the RWA Communications. So a little bit of background story on some of these people here. So Justin Baldoni, again, he is the co-founder of Wayfarer Studios. That's the production studios that produce It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us it originated from a book by Colleen Hoover that blew up. You know, people really love the book. They love her. And so Justin Baldoni wanted to make a movie about it, right? He said it really resonated with him. He really enjoyed reading the book. Jamie Heath is the CEO of Wayfarer Studios. Steve Sarowitz, I'm remembering this from Blake Lively's complaint. Apparently they are I forgot it was either millionaire or billionaire. I know that makes a huge difference, but I forgot. They have a lot of money, and apparently they're like the ones that are like bankrolling Wayfarer Studios, I believe. Hopefully I remember that correctly. Melissa Nathan is the crisis PR person that was hired by Justin Baldoni and Jennifer Abel. Her agency is called the Agency Group. Then we have Jennifer Abel, who was Justin Baldoni's publicist. I don't know if they're still working together. I'm assuming they are, because Jennifer Abel was working with Justin Baldoni. However, she was working under a different company. She got fired from that company, and she now currently has her own PR firm. But she was already creating her PR firm before she got fired. So she was planning on taking Justin Baldoni with her. And there's also more drama happening with all that stuff with the former publicist that Justin Baldoni was working with, like the publicist, the company that she was working with. We have a Jed Wallace, again, someone that they hired to do like the social media stuff. So we got a lot of people here name on this for the plaintiffs. And again, they are suing New York Times because of the article. They're essentially saying that New York Times, you said that you had access to all these text messages. However, you cherry picked the ones that made us look really bad. You took it out of context, and we're suing you for that. So let's see what we think about this. After reading this, after reading from Justin Baldoni's side of the story, what do we think? I'm very curious what you guys think about this. What in the world is happening here? Stuffs. Hi, Mandork. How are you doing today? Hello. How's it going? We're reading this lawsuit that was filed by Justin Baldoni, and it mentions Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and some other stuff in here. So we're just catching up on all this stuff. So let's start with the introduction. At 9:46 p.m. Hold on a second, actually. Let me give me a second. Before we start with the introduction. Also, how was everyone's New Year? Hello. Yeah, Mandark, we're so glad to hear that you're okay. Hello, Mandark. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Air Goose. Welcome, Air Goose. Hello. Okay, just give me a second. Bleep, are you here by chance? Bleep, can you do me a favor and type into the YouTube chat? Oh, wait, the YouTube chat is popping up. Wait, hold on. Someone go into the YouTube chat and type really quick. Hold on, it's working. It wasn't popping up earlier. I think it's good now. You went to bed early, but the kids stayed up to watch the ball drop. Yeah, for me, when I celebrate New Year's, I celebrate East Coast New Year's. That way I can be done at 9 o'clock. But last night, we couldn't go to sleep because the fireworks were going off after 10, and then Cheryl was scared, so I wanted to make sure we stay up with Mr. Shiro. This is me typing. Okay, cool. Okay, then it is working. I don't know. There was just a delay, I guess. It's working now. Yay! I am typing. Yes, I see. Okay, cool. Hi, Nicole. How are you doing today? Hello, Boone. How are you doing today? How's it going? Oh, did you guys see Sarah Boone's new photo? She got a new photo when they transfer her over. For some reason, I thought they had already transferred her since her sentencing happened on December 2nd. You sit up and watch anime? What anime did you watch? I've been watching Frieren. I still don't know how to pronounce that fucking name. But I started watching it because everyone's like, oh, it's so good. It is pretty good. I do like it. I guess I'll just turn off my... I'll just leave this. Okay, I can see you guys. The prison bus, it doesn't run every day. Do I watch anime movies? I haven't watched anime movies in so long. It's been a while. Does her being transferred mean her appeal was officially denied? No, I think like when you're waiting for your appeal, you're still gonna have to serve your prison sentence. Like it still starts. Yeah, I can't wait for Apothecary. Yes, 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 yes. You're watching All of Us Are Dead. Oh yeah, I heard that there's a new Squid Games that are out right now. I have not seen season 2 yet. I was gonna watch I was gonna watch it with Dennis, but then he told me that I didn't watch season 1 with him, so I kind of feel bad. It's like, do I continue watching season 2 without him, or what do we do here? All right, y'all. So let's jump into the complaint. This is, again, we're gonna get from Justin Baldoni and his team's side of the story. Apparently, they're gonna show more text messages, more context, but yeah, I don't know what you guys think about after this. Introduction. At 9:46 p.m. on December 20th, 2024, New York Times reporter Megan Twohey requested plaintiff's response to an imminent 4,000-word bombshell story concerning their alleged orchestration of a smear campaign targeting Blake Lively, purportedly in the response to Lively's disclosure of concerns about the working environment on the set of It Ends With Us, the film. Hi, Wayne. The film's production company, Wayfair, and its principal, Baldoni and Heath, and its public relations representatives, Nathan and Abel, were asked to provide the on-record comment and to notify the Times of any inaccuracies by noon the next day on December 21st, 2024. A mere 14 hours overnight. And you got to remember, you have to include sleep into that as well. I bet you they didn't sleep that night. Plaintiff's representative promptly denied Lively's accusations reported by the Times and criticized both Lively and the Times' reliance on cherry-picked and altered communication, stripped of necessary context and deliberately spliced to mislead. Hi, Rain. How's it going today? Yes, this is the new lawsuit that was filed by Justin Baldoni. He is suing the New York Times. Despite its claims to have reviewed these along with other documents, the Times relied almost entirely on Lively's unverified, self-serving narrative, lifting it nearly verbatim while disregarding an abundance of evidence that contradicted her claims and exposed her true motives. But the Times did not care. Given the breadth of the article and the coordinated drop, it is readily apparent that the Times had been working quietly in concert with Lively's team for weeks or months. I think right now it's like Blake Lively and New York Times versus like Justin Baldoni and Variety Magazine. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. It seems like Variety Magazine might be more like pro Justin and New York Times may be more pro Blake Lively, but that's just what it seems. It is readily apparent that the Times has been working quietly in concert with Lively's teams for weeks or months. The Times participated actively in the legal maneuvering at the heart of Lively's strategy. Notably, Lively chose not to file a lawsuit against Baldoni, Wayfair, or any other plaintiffs, a choice that spared her from the scrutiny of the discovery process, including answering questions under oath and producing her communications. So they're trying to say, well, Blake Lively, she did this complaint, and when she filed this complaint, we can't get discovery from her. We can't get text messages from her. So they're saying that Blake Lively made a strategic move to not file a lawsuit. However, the same day that this lawsuit was filed, Blake Lively did file a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni in New York. So we'll get to go to the discovery process. And you know what? I'm saying I think we need a trial. We need a fucking trial. We need to see all the text messages. We need to see the full context of things. Hey, Salsa. Hi, Joseph. How are you doing today? Hello, hello. Honestly, no clue. I live in the North Shore across the lake. Hardly go down there anymore. It's very dangerous. Oh, what area are you talking about? The French Quarter area? I've never been to New Orleans before. I want to go there so bad. It seems like food there is amazing. But yeah, crazy shit. Crazy stuff. The decision was no accident. First, her administrative complaint is rife with blatant falsehoods and egregious misrepresentations that would have subjected her to dismissal, if not sanctions. Second, pursuing formal legal action would have derailed her true objective, an orchestrated campaign to rehabilitate her public image. Instead, Lively filed a request for a right-to-sue letter with the California Civil Rights Department. A procedural formality that does not require pleadings, remains confidential unless leaked, as it was here, and crucially does not subject the complainant to discovery. So they're saying that possibly someone from Blake Lively's team leaked it to New York Times and they were able to report it. While such a letter can precede a lawsuit, it is clear that litigation was never her ultimate goal. Her real intention was to weaponize the appearance of legitimacy conferred by a numbered legal documents to launch salacious, headlining-grabbing allegations and reshape her public persona at the expense of the plaintiffs. Lively found willing allies in the New York Times, which uncritically embraced her CRD complaint and, as facts, disregarded the plaintiff's emphatic objections. Without even waiting for the response deadline of noon on December 21st, 2024, the Times rushed to publish his inflammatory article, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine," at 10:11. Oh, so they didn't even get like the full 14 hours. nearly 2 hours early. This brazen disregard for journalistic integrity and fairness resulted in an article rife with inaccuracy, misrepresentations, and omissions. Hi, Nicole. How are you doing today? I know we're just getting so much stuff. There's just like, oh my gosh, there's just a lot to process. I was processing this last night. In an era where public trust in media has reached a historic low and legacy outlets are increasingly criticized as biased and agenda-driven, the Times has chosen to double down on sensationalism and oversimplified narratives. Rather than striving for accuracy and balance, it has prioritized hollow signaling over substantive reporting, further eroding its credibility and exacerbating the very mistrust its claims to combat. 7. The article's central thesis. Hi, Bell Moon. How are you doing today? That's not true because a California complaint begins the legal process. Yes, that's what I heard. I heard that she files this complaint and basically they either do their own investigation or they give her the, okay, go ahead. You can go after Justin Baldoni and you can sue. So she's already filed her lawsuit. I mean, honestly, her lawsuit happened after this, so they didn't know. And, it kind of just... the first couple of these paragraphs are, I guess sort of debunked because she did end up filing a lawsuit at the end, but they didn't know. The article's central thesis encapsulates in a defamatory headline designed to immediately mislead the reader is that the plaintiffs orchestrated a retaliatory public relations campaign against Lively's for speaking out against sexual harassment, a premise that is categorically false and easily proven. If the Times truly revealed the thousands of private communications it claims to have obtained, its reporters would have seen incontrovertible evidence that it was Lively, not plaintiffs, who engaged in a calculated smear campaign. The complete communications demonstrate beyond question that plaintiffs had no intention of destroying or burying Lively through aggressive tactics. On the contrary, Baldoni consistently expressed a desire to avoid harming Lively and protect the film, but also recognized a legitimate need for public relations protection in light of Lively's false and damaging claims. So we're going to get a bunch of text messages. So you know how we get lots of text messages in Blake Lively's complaints, and we're like, what the hell? How did she get these text messages? These are text messages between his publicist and Justin Baldoni. It's because his publicist was fired, her company phone was confiscated, and the company owner, yes? Hold on a second. All right, you're not coming back in, though. You're not coming back in. Cheryl wanted out. So she had her phone confiscated when she was fired. And apparently in the other lawsuit that was filed by Justin's former publicist, Stephanie Jones, she said that the company found out that Jennifer Abel was downloading things that she wasn't supposed to and then forwarding it to her personal email. And that might have been one of the reasons why they fired her. So yeah, that's how we have all these text messages. But now we are getting more context to these text messages. We're getting some text messages before and afterwards, which I really like. However, I think they should just drop everything. Just show us everything. Give us the full text messages. Give us everything. I want the thousands of communications that they have. We're nosy. All right. Melissa Nathan, good morning. Again, Melissa Nathan is a crisis PR that was hired by Justin Baldoni. Good morning. Sharing with you a perfect example of why we don't use bots. This was on Monday, August 19. It's hard to see the date at 7 a.m. I wouldn't even worry to think they've hired a team as A, nothing to find, B, they hired an awful team, which I've sent to our guy to track and pull, so we have evidence of it. This below should answer everyone's question on what a bot team looks like when every single comment suddenly skews in her favor in a nonsensical way. At least sprinkle them in. She needs to fire her bot team. So I guess they're trying to say that, like, oh, it looks like Blake Lively may have hired a team to, employ all these bots and make all these fake comments, I guess in support of Blake Lively. Justin says, how can we say somehow that we are not doing any of this? It looks like we are trying to take her down. Melissa Nathan, it doesn't. They are doing it all themselves, and it's really obvious. This is bots, and it's really hard to see the comments here. It's kind of blurred out. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Justin, okay, please monitor things. I'm more worried about this, things I'm more worried about is that we are planting these stories, which is obviously not true. Jen Abel, the prior publicist, chiming in here. The people saying that there are bots and this is a PR play on your side is a minority voice compared to the thousands who are calling it what it is and reacting to Blake's own actions and interviews. We never want the action of the minority to dictate what we do on our end. We have to always look at the big picture, which is still enormously on your side. But I do see a need from fans to move on. People are now commenting that they are bored with the many articles still coming out about the drama. Yes, I think people are starting to just be like, okay, we don't care about this drama. Let's move on. But it just gets juicier from after the lawsuit starts dropping and the complaints and stuff. It just got more and more crazy. When we move on, they do too. So we need to find ways to keep elevating not just a DV reaction, but also other things in your life like family, being back home, and Wayfair. That's not tone deaf in my opinion, but sends a message that you are focusing on what really matters, and that's what will help with the Blake narrative too, my opinion. Okay, Cheryl wants back into my fucking office. Jesus Christ. What? You want in, you want out? Choose. Now you're stuck in here. Okay, now you're stuck in here. I'm not letting you out this time. You're stuck in here. I don't know. He wants in, he wants out. This guy is, you can't, old people, you know? He's cranky. He's an old corgi. He's a cranky little guy. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? How are you doing today? This is the first message. I think Justin thought they weren't doing it, but Nathan lied to Justin, just like she and Abel lied to Jones later on. It doesn't prove Jack that Nathan was actually planting the stories. I wanted the cast direction on press message of hope versus actual TV stuff was JB astroturfing from the jump because he knew she looked vapid if only he'd address it. I think in Blake Lively's complaint, they tried to say that Justin Baldoni initially did follow Sony's PR, how to promote the movie. However, they alleged that, when he realized the tide's returning, he decided to pivot a little bit. But I don't know. I think it could be seen as both ways. I think it'd be seen as like, okay, well, the people are responding negatively to how the movie's being promoted. Let me change because I don't want to be dragged into that shit, It could be that, or it could just be because he pivoted because he just doesn't want to look bad. He wants to look like he's a better person in comparison to Blake Lively, or it could be a combination of both. All right, so we have more text messages. This is a tag team. Again, this is Melissa Nathan's, this is her agency. So we have this group chat without Justin Baldoni. Here's an article by Hollywood Reporter. It ends with us, Sony chief praises Blake Lively for advancing the conversation around DV. They messaged me 5 times before this went up. Someone from the tag team. Exclusive. Blake Lively was really impatient on Ends With Us set as drama rumors swirl. Tension was so obvious. Jamie Heath, the CEO. So glad Blake was praised. Let her get a win. It will be nice to have Sony executive praise Justin. This is around towards the end of maybe August. I'm not too sure because we can't see the date before. The thing I don't like about this, we can't see a lot of dates for a lot of these. Yeah, I was like, we want dates, we want times, we want more text messages. Hi, Lakia, how are you doing today? How's it going? Yeah, the producer's here. The producer's a little cranky today. 8. The article is predicated on Lively's CRD complaint, which references text messages between Nathan and Abel as reported evidence that Nathan planted a negative story in the Daily Mail titled, Is Blake Lively Set to Be Cancelled? Lively's portrayal is categorically false, misleading, and devoid of factual basis, yet only endorsed by The Times, which claimed to have reviewed thousands of pages of text messages and emails. The smear campaign hinges on an August 16th text message in which Nathan allegedly shared a link to the article with Abel. The text exchange shows Abel responding, "Wow," followed by, you really outdid yourself. Let's just read the message. Okay, so this is Jennifer Abel and Melissa Nathan. Could Lively be canceled? Jennifer Abel writes, "Wow, you really outdid yourself with this piece. Upside down, smiley face." Melissa Nathan writes, "That's why you hired me, right? I'm the best." Heading to the airport, there is a drive through the jungle, blah, blah, blah. And this is just airport talk stuff. So apparently in the New York Times article, they're trying to say that okay, well, in New York Times, when they provided the screenshots, they didn't include the entirety of the messages, or they might have omitted an emoji. The Times, however, was aware that these messages were unscrupulously altered and selectively edited, enabling both Lively and her team of The Times to propagate a false smear campaign narrative designed to destroy plaintiffs. Specifically, in the immediate preceding text exchange on August 16th, Nathan forwarded a screenshot of a message from a reporter informing her for the first time of the Daily Mail article. In response, Nathan wrote, "Damn, this is not fair because it's also not me," followed by, "Everything now looks like it's me." conclusively refuting her involvement in the creation or dissemination of the article. So text message with Melissa Nathan and Jen. This is on August 16. Canceled? The mail is going nuts. Melissa Nathan writes, damn, this is unfair because it's also not me. Everything now looks like it's me. Maybe not to you. She replies back, no, it totally does look like his side! Exclamation mark. Cool, thanks. Included. Further evidence of the Times' complicity arises from the apparent endorsement of the criminal alteration of these text messages by Lively. After Nathan forwarded a screenshot of the article link, Abel responded with, you really outdid yourself, with the peace emoji, adding the emoji to indicate the sarcastic nature of her message. The emoji is commonly used to convey irony, sarcasm, joking, or a sense of goofiness or silliness. So this is the original complaint filed by, filed by Blake Lively. They're saying that this upside down emoji with the smiley face is omitted because they're trying to say that, like, oh, you know, when we first read these text messages, it seems like they were boasting about getting this article with Blake Lively and saying that, like, she was canceled, right? And Melissa Nathan replies, oh, that's why you hired me, right? I'm the best. However, with the context of this emoji being removed, it could add a different meaning to it. For me, I'm just like, I don't know, maybe not. I could see it happening. I could see the conversation happening either way. And again, all these have been excluded, but I mean, this is just like airport talk. I don't see why they would include all this. In her CRD complaint, Lively deliberately excluded not only the preceding screenshot of the text messages proving Nathan's involvement in the story, but also the upside down smiley face emoji. Also, hold on. I do want to say that even though this smiley face thing could mean either way to me, I think it's really fucking weird and shady that it was removed, though. I think that if you're going to provide screenshots, especially for the public to read, have the whole fucking thing. Don't fucking edit things out. I don't know if Blake Lively seems going to be like, oh, that was a mistake, that should have been there, but I don't know. It should just be a fucking screenshot. It should just be a screenshot. So I think it's super fucking weird to remove the emoji. Just include it. That way, you know, later on, if we get the full text messages, like, oh, well, why did you remove the emojis from there? So I do think that's really fucking weird. The omitted context is critical as it demonstrates that each subsequent message in the exchange was similarly intended as sarcasm, including Nathan's statement, that's why you hired me, right? I'm the best. Further review of the text message exchange, also excluded from both Lively's CRD complaint and the Times article, unequivocally shows that Abel and Nathan were engaging in a sarcastic and joking manner, as evidenced by the use of the haha tap back reaction. I mean, it could be sarcastic, joking manner by doing the haha reaction, or they could just be laughing at it. I don't know. It could mean many things. When read in full, the exchange reveals Nathan and Abel engaging in facetious juvenile banter, not conspiring against Lively. That's possible. The Times rely on Lively's CRD complaint and based solely on the exchange intentionally dupe readers into believing that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign, purportedly using Nathan and Abel as his accomplices. Indeed, the Times, like Lively, misrepresented these communications support as salacious and unfounded smear campaign narrative. This calculated distortion underscores the article's lack of credibility and its reliance on sensationalism over substantive truth. Any negative press about Lively was unequivocally a consequence of her own actions. Even the Times itself acknowledged Lively's public missteps in an August 17, 2024, article entitled, It Ends With Us, the Press Tour Drama Explained. In it, reporter Shivani Gonzalez observed, quotations, Lively's promotion of the movie has included push for her new hair care line, discussion of the clothes in the movie, and a response to questions about abuse which have been criticized as shallow and tone deaf. Baldoni, by contrast, has emphasized the importance of raising awareness of domestic violence and providing resources for those similar situations. I love it when Corey gets Vetaspace. Hi, Inti. How are you doing today? Inti, thank you so much for the raid. Hello. Hope you have a happy new year. Hope you have an awesome stream. Hello. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you? Huge shout out to Inti. Thank you so much. The software that archived the phone might not have included the emoji. That's what I was thinking too as well, but I don't know. I feel like you would just want to make sure. I just don't know. Like, emojis are used, right? It's not like emojis are a new thing or anything like that. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Maybe the emoji just didn't transfer over, but. Any negative press about Lively was unequivocally a consequence of her own actions. Even the Times itself acknowledged Lively's public missteps. Okay, oh yeah, that's right, her promoting her shit. So, I mean, yeah, I think it all looked really bad because she was apparently promoting her new hair care line that was launching in August. I mean, I can see why she wanted to, she launched her hair care line in August is because that's when she would get a lot of like, publicity from the movie premieres during that time. But she was also pushing, I heard her, I think, was she also pushing her alcohol line? I don't know. I didn't see any footage of that. But if you guys have any footage of her pushing her alcohol line when she was promoting the movie, let me know. Or just post it in the Discord. But I did hear people talking about that. Discussion of the clothes in the movie. Oh, I have a lot of things to say about the clothes choice in the movie. I have a lot of things to say about that. But we'll wait till we get to that section. Response to the questions about abuse and which have been criticized, challenged, tone deaf. Okay. Text messages. So this is with TMZ and Melissa Nathan. Melissa Nathan is the author of these text messages. Reporter says Blake Lively's little bump taunt felt like a bullet. Reporter says Blake Lively's little bump taunt felt like a bullet. Lamau, we invited her too. I think, interviewed? I think it's interviewed. We interviewed her too. Let me find that interview. Fucked her. Melissa Nathan writes, when? LOL. Also, what the fuck? Why am I in this too? They respond back, you're a starlet. Fuck this week. How was the stunt? So remember how a lot of people were saying how they accused Kirsty Flaw, the journalist, of working with Justin Baldoni in order to get engaged in the smear campaign with Blake Lively. But it's also possible that it was just coincidence that she, uploaded her video during this time. And she's just like, I think it's possible she's just getting in the crossfires of all the drama that's happening. I think it's also possible that maybe Blake Lively was on her mind recently. It's because Blake Lively has been in the news lately. She's like promoting the It Ends With Us movie. There's been a little bit of drama between her and Justin Baldoni, maybe behind the scenes, So I think it's possible that Kirsty Flaw is just getting caught in the crossfires. And then also, I mean, like I said, it'd be really cool to see the entirety of the text messages, right? Because then we could see whether or not Kirsty Flaw is mentioned in any way. I'm assuming she's not because it wasn't mentioned in Blake Lively's complaint. So I think that could be a huge, the lack of text messages would prove that Kirsty Flaw did not work with Justin Baldoni, or at least it's not documented. Lively marketing's efforts, which included encouraging audience to grab your friends and wear your florals, while promoting her hair care and alcohol brands, were widely criticized as insensitive. Okay, so she was promoting her alcohol brand. This was particularly glaring given World Health Organization statistics showing that 55% of domestic violence involves alcohol. Yep, I could totally see that. Her actions naturally triggered organic public criticism and unleashed a cycle of negative coverage, including, as it is common in the digital age, the resurfacing of old, unflattering content. She had her alcohol in the gift bags. The press tours, probably a deal made with Sony, not just Blake being Blake. Should have given Baldoni the hair care set and free tickets to Deadpool. Now he wants $250 million. And well, he wants a $250 million from New York Times. I don't know. We'll wait and see if there's going to be a counter suit from Justin Baldoni to Blake Lively. I'm sure there will be. This is the tag team. Let's see. Tag team. Again, this is Melissa Nathan's PR company. Tag team member, we didn't tell Jed to go after the idea that her promo was inappropriate. Oh, so Jed is the social media person that they hired. That happened organically because people saw the action movie and were like, wait, this is a movie about domestic violence, that they wore florals too. Zoe sent me this on Saturday and goes, this is a crazy way to market this movie. I think it says, grab your friends, wear your florals, and It Ends With Us movie. I mean, this is even like Sony and like, I don't know who came up with that tagline, but maybe it was Sony. Like, come on, we had nothing to do with that. Far from being the product of a calculated smear campaign by plaintiffs, a backlash against Lively was an inevitable fallout of her own tone-deaf messaging and self-promotional tactics, amplified by the inability to read the room in addressing such a serious subject. Melissa, Nathan, and Justin Baldoni. So this is from Justin Baldoni. On Sunday, August 18, around this time, this is when Blake Lively is like, after been like, I think a week of Blake Lively just getting just dog shit on, essentially. I think this is maybe a couple days after Jennifer Abel was fired from her PR company. Justin Baldoni writes, this is not us correct, assuming the guy we brought in would never do this. What is this? 160 likes, 25 comments, team, hashtag Blake Lively, details on my website. Perez Hilton. TikTok creator claims she received sketchy DMs instructing her how to discuss Blake Lively Justin Baldoni drama PR. Melissa Nathan replies back, none of us would ever do this. Also, no one even paid attention to this person past 2005. He is not relevant. He does not create news headline. He does not get pickup. He is just now a troll. There is not one outlet that would cover anything he said or take it seriously. I think as well there is this struggle where it kind of may be even unbelievable the way the people are turning against her, but they are, organically. It's organic. She's blown herself up by her own actions. Unearthed Blake Lively interview shows her use slurs for trans people. This just ran. Obviously, none of us knew about this either, but once media goes in, they go in. Yes, they will dig in everything about you, everything about your past, all your past interviews, all your interactions, and the internet will too. And the best thing we can do right now is be quiet. Let's get through this week together, then just move on and back to regular planning with Instagram posts and thoughtful ideas and messages. The content creators are on fire, and Justin, she has handed it to them all on a plate. Just concentrate on the success of the movie, your family, your next project. I have this weird feeling that she's going to reach out to you for a conversation in the next couple of weeks, or he will. That never happened. That never happened. I wonder if they saw the negative stories Jen and Melissa planted about JB before they joined with them in this. Who's they? Yes, Happy New Year's. August 24. Again, we're about 2 to 3 weeks after the movie has premiered. Blake Lively fearing for her career amid it ends with us backlash. Someone from the tag team. God, I'm so over this. I'm sure Leslie thinks we placed this one as well. Yep, and same. So Leslie's going to be a name that's going to pop up later on. Leslie is Blake Lively's, I guess, publicist. 15, the article also deliberately ignores that Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan of Vision PR, once backed by Harvey Weinstein, seeded stories critical of Baldoni. So see, when we're reading these, they know the public's going to read this, and there's going to be like YouTubers and stuff that's going to read this. So they got to sprinkle stuff like this in, like, Leslie Sloan. Well, guess who Leslie Sloan was backed by? Harvey Weinstein, a huge no name in Hollywood. Seeded stories critical of Baldoni included that Baldoni was a sexual predator ahead of the film's release. Sloan did so even while Nathan attempted to cooperate in good faith. So these are text messages. I'll try my best to zoom in. Some of these are really blurry though. These are text messages with someone named James and Leslie Sloan. I think if we look for more context, I think James is a reporter with, Daily Mail. I think it's the same James. Leslie Sloan writes, and we don't have dates. Boo. Leslie Sloan, again, Blake Lively's PR. Yes, please, as thus info is all wrong. She didn't require script runs, nothing to do with this. She produced a film and got a cut. What the fuck is going on? The whole cast doesn't like Justin. Nothing to do with Blake. Lots of typos, and I'm trying my best to translate, okay? James writes back, like I said, though, the reporting is that there were issues between her and Justin as well as others, and that Justin found it difficult to work with her. One of these reporters known is close to Steph Jones. Again, Steph Jones is Justin Baldoni's former publicist that is currently suing him right now. Steph Jones owns her own PR company. She was the one that employed Jennifer Abel, and she fired Jennifer Abel. She's suing. They're suing each other. Or no, Steph Jones is suing Jennifer Abel. Jennifer Abel, I don't think, has filed a lawsuit against Steph Jones yet. Maybe they will. Sorry. I'm trying to remind you guys, like, the whole family tree here, okay? Because it's a lot of people big name. Because they used to always get Tom Brady, Giselle shit, and Steph reps him, I believe. I told them she is awful and to not rely on anything she says. I'm telling you, she's a liar. They are panicking as the whole cast hates him. He replies back, so they want to run something based on this reporting, and I want to shut it down, but I need something to shut it down with. I know she's a liar. I just need to get my editor on board because she has 3 reporters for feeding her bullshit, 2 from LA. Leslie Sloan replies back, I promise she's lying. This will not look good on your site. The entire cast I will have go on record. James replies back, can you give me anything at all on what the issue is? Then if it's not her and it's him. Leslie Sloan writes back, no, I'm in a plane and this needs to hold. He replies back, sounds good. I'd like to clear this shit up. So I think this is James sending these screenshots of his conversations with Leslie Sloan. I think he's sending it to Melissa Nathan. He's writing to Melissa Nathan. She said the whole cast hates Justin. This has nothing to do with Blake. And now she's saying that Blake was sexually assaulted. Why wouldn't she say anything about that then? She knows she's full of shit. She told me that the whole issue was that everybody hates Justin. Nothing about Justin and Blake. She said it has nothing to do with Blake. Bullshit. Melissa Nathan writes back, but I can't see it. So it could either be one, maybe there's no sexual assaulting and that's why it wasn't brought up then, or two, Leslie Sloan didn't want to, divulge this information to this Daily Mail person at this time, maybe, possibly. All right, we have Brian Friedman is the attorney that's representing Wayfair, Justin Baldoni, Melissa Nathan, Jennifer Abel. I don't know who this conversation is with. Maybe it's with, it's just two people. Is this a group chat? When it says two people, it's a group chat, right? Okay. All right, so someone writes back, anything you have is helpful. Thank you, times 1,000. Brian Friedman, the attorney. I think that's him. Thanks, Melissa. Brian Friedman. I really appreciate it, James. James writes, Brian, it'll be easier to send you the screen recording of all of our conversations, which I scroll through slowly in the conversation. You can see that Leslie bashes Melissa, tries to get me to say that Melissa was planting stories and bad-mouthing Blake. She also goes off calling Steph Jones a liar and never once did mention anything about the sexual harassment. Here is the screenshot recording. So I think this is a group chat with Brian Friedman, the attorney, Melissa Nathan, and James from the Daily Mail. And I guess this screenshot was provided, this was a recent screenshot because it says yesterday. And this was filed, this was filed like this week. Maybe they were getting all this together last week or beginning of this week. All right. We have a cutoff right here, unfortunately. Let's see what it says. Also, on the last conversation that I had with Leslie, we talked for a while. And during the conversation, Leslie asked me who it was that Melissa reps, who is with Tag PR, what happened with that He'll Take situation. She also told me that Melissa is not a real PR agency and that they don't have any good clients. She told me that she did not like Melissa on multiple occasions. She also told us to redact who does not work with us anymore. She also asked about Steph Jones, who she was, what she did, where she works, who works with her. She had called her a liar too in the text messages. Also, she has a history of lying. This is a clear example. She gave me information on a story about redacted, and the real reason that he got off stage during a performance. She gave me the info, we printed the info, redacted, didn't like it, so she comes back and says the following. Completely redacted here. Hi, Moon. How are you doing today? James from Daily Mail writes, many times she gives us information and then her client gets mad and then she comes back and says that she never gave it to us and it's a lie. Oof. I've had many conversations with her about Blake and never once did she say anything about sexual assault. I had a 3-way call with her and Melissa and she never said anything about it either. I hope this helps in some way. If nothing else, it shows she doesn't like Melissa, and she tried numerous times to get me to say that Melissa was planting stories or Melissa was bad-mouthing Blake. After I told her countless times it was not the case, she kept going. So we have a lot of things that are happening right here. It's possible that Sloan was saying that Melissa was bad-mouthing Blake, maybe because she truly believes it, or she's trying to convince this person to write something bad about maybe Melissa Jones and then maybe Justin Baldoni. It's possible that the reason why the Sloan person didn't, or Leslie, I think that's her name, Leslie didn't disclose the sexual assault things because maybe she just didn't want to tell this Daily Mail reporter, or it never happened, or there's no such thing. I don't know, there's just like a lot of like what ifs. So right now we're just absorbing information like a sponge. We're entertaining all these what ifs and we'll see what happens. We need more context. It's hard to really make up your mind. Someone writes back, I'll call your boss. She's a piece of work. This is a text message with TMZ, maybe some other people, and Melissa Nathan. TMZ writes, I figured I got some video from May 17th of Blake and Justin on set in Hoboken. Do we have this video by any chance? They are in an animated conversation, so wanted to see if they want to give any background or context. Between us, the video isn't really great, mostly doing it because of all the speculation about the feud. Melissa Nathan writes, it's not even between us, LOL. It's not even between us, LOL. I don't know what the fuck that says. What do you think that says? It's a treat? I don't know. I have no idea what that says. Anyway, any guesses? Any guesses what that might be saying? It is, right? You watch The Substance? It better be. Dude, it's not, okay. It's not like fucked up like that other movie we talked about, but I think it's shocking. It's a very shocking movie. I think it's not effed up like Old Boy or what's that other effed up movie, right? It's just like, what the fuck am I watching? It started off really good, and then towards the end, I'm just like, okay, this is just gratuitous at this point. No, I think I think the shock value is way worse than all of that. I think the shock value is way worse. Way, 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 way worse than Old Boy and all that. I think so. You have to rewatch it. Old Boy, that is. Okay, so TMZ writes, People's story about JB, Justin Baldoni, false about cast and crew hating him. This is August 13. We were told cast and crew find Justin nice guy. They don't take as harsh of sides behind scenes. Why are people not typing? Like, people suck at typing. Come on now. We have autocorrect nowadays. Like, what is going on here? How do you expect people to understand your text message when you type like this? This is just everyone in these text messages. Okay, all you guys. We were told cast and crew find just a nice guy. Don't take as harsh of sides behind scenes as it is being reported. At this point, we're told it's being milked for publicity. Justin's over it. It's really between career difference between Blake and Justin, but wasn't nearly as bad as reported. Blake, huge ego, etc. is the reporting. Yep, I remember hearing about that. Melissa Nathan writes, I am in a hurricane in PR. They write back, okay. Are you okay? Oh my God, are you okay? Yes, I just ate a poke bowl. I don't know. This is such an interesting reply. I'm in a hurricane right now in Puerto Rico. You're okay? Yeah, I just had a poke bowl. I don't know why the response is just so funny. I'd be so ill. She writes back, do you have sources? Blake Lively Camp keeps thinking it's us placing and we are something. Do we get the rest of it? Oh, here it is. Do you have sources? Blake Lively Camp thinks it's us placing and we are doing F-all. Fuck all. Yes, on production. They've had a producer working overtime and spoke to people on... Where is it? They've had a producer working overtime and spoke to people on production in post. Melissa Nathan writes, wait till I tell you the whole story. TMZ writes, we are legit saying sources say it's all Blake's ego. Melissa Nathan writes back, you have no idea. You think you do? You do not. In my whole career, I've never come across this situation. TMZ writes back, but why aren't people saying the real story if known? Can I call you back? Can I see the rest of the text messages? I want to see more. I want to see more. Okay, so this is James, I think the Daily Mail person, and Leslie Sloan. They're liking City. We don't have dates. No dates. Boo. Leslie Sloan, good for you. I know you are friends with Melissa. James, yeah, we are. Leslie, I'm not paid to take people down. I'm honest. He replies back. She hasn't done anything literally anti-Blake. KK. She told me the same thing that she told you, which is she said the Blake's black backlash is organic. Leslie replies back. Gosh, backlash. Okay. Backlash. Leslie Sloan replies back. It's not. She did nothing. But help get a movie, make tons of money. Justin makes tons. James replies back, she was kind of like promoting it as if it was a Barbie, ... It's just based on things that she said directly. Here's an email. This is from August 14, forwarding a TMZ statement from Jennifer Abel to Melissa and some other people. Jamie and team FYI. So she's forwarding an email from Charlie Neff to Wayfarer Studios, statement for TMZ. Hello, I'm a reporter at TMZ. I'm reaching out to get a statement regarding some information. We are being told there are 3 HR complaints filed against Justin Baldoni on the set of It Ends With Us. We wanted to see if complaints were investigated and what the results were. Thank you. Someone from TMZ. Wednesday, August 14. Hi, Casey. How are you doing today? There is the thing. I think Abel and Melissa were tricking both sides or all 3 sides. Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that, I don't think. Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer, Blake Lively and Sloan, Jones works. Huh. Interesting. This shows that JB and the BL teams didn't understand where is the leak. Both sides think there is a retaliation. Interesting. Okay. Wednesday, August 14, reporter. I mean, because right now the attorney that is representing Justin Baldoni is the same attorney that's representing Melissa and Jennifer Abel. Interesting. Scandalous. All right, Wednesday, August 14, reporter. A source close to set says they don't know of an investigation, but there was an intervention. Quotations. We heard there were multiple HR complaints from the cast and crew starting from the first day of production. Wayfair is a studio. It's unclear if Wayfair Studios performed an investigation into the claims against himself. Separately, we are aware there was an intervention with Justin Baldoni midway through production based on a pattern of inappropriate behavior by him towards cast and crew. Tag team replies back, off record. The only complaint, which was not confirmed if it was an official HR complaint, was a guy was up for a gig on the crew. Complained the younger guy who got it did so because of ageism. There was no investigation, found no wrongdoing. There are no other complaints, especially no other documented HR complaints. There was not an intervention on the set or with members of the crew. This would be false to allude to. Blake and Ryan had Justin and his team over for a meeting where Blake expressed all the things she was upset about. This was not Justin versus a team behind the film. It was his team versus Blake and Ryan, more of a contentious meeting. The way it reads now reads as if it was a proper intervention with cast and crew, not true. Yeah, I thought it was like a proper meeting that was held when they discussed this whole HR stuff. Reporter, thank you. I just sent him. I'll keep you posted. What is the email for Wayfair? I need to legal reach out. Go to wayfair.com. This is Leslie and Melissa Nathan. Oh, Leslie and Melissa Nathan. Okay, this is going to get juicy. Let's see. Maybe not. Melissa. Happy to. I land in less than 2 hours. Melissa Nathan. Thank you. Have a safe flight. Just also, I am not doing one thing without speaking to you. I'm not answering one email about the situation. I've told everyone to not do one thing /plant/seed/ even speak to one reporter, even on background. Now I am involved. There will be no shock surprises to you. Leslie Sloan. Me either. Gets hearted. Leslie Sloan on August 8th. Tried you. Hi, I need to chat. Melissa Nathan. Hi, I want to get into a place I can call. Can we get more information on this? I think there's just a lot of things that are happening simultaneously. And it's a shit show. All right, 16. To assert the plaintiff's orchestrated and premeditated smear campaign is to disregard objective evidence that unequivocally contradicts such claims. Even a cursory investigation by the Times would have exposed the baseless nature of Lively's allegations and the lack of factual support for her narrative. Most troubling, however, is the Times' deliberate omission of a critical player in this manufactured controversy. Stephanie Jones. Once Baldoni and Wayfair's trusted public relations representative, Jones had not only intimate access to the communication strategy and crisis management surrounding the film, but also played a pivotal role in leaking private communications cited in the article. Her betrayal, driven by a quid pro quo arrangement with Lively, appears aimed at shielding herself while aligning with Lively to curry favor and secure future opportunities. Maybe you guys can help me with this because I don't know if I really understand this email. Let's see. Regarding call for a comment at 10:29 a.m., Stephanie Jones to you and Wayfair Studios. Let's see. Where does it start? 10:29. I think it starts from the bottom, right? I think the bottom's more accurate. From redacted to Jennifer Abel and to Stephanie Jones. Jennifer Abel wrote, "Team, please ignore. Thanks. Smiley face X." That's on August 8th. Stephanie Jones, I think, writes back, "Redacted has been nice and fixed things for us in the past. I can give her a call that this is a nothing burger." Again, I don't know. We just need more context. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. All right, now we're in August 8th. Later on that morning. Okay. Is this the forwarded message from August 8th? Maybe. Okay. "Hi, I'm a reporter from Daily Mail, and I'm currently working a story surrounding the recent rumors that there were feud between It Ends With Us co-stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni." Stephanie Jones, 1150, wrote, "Left word for redacted. She's been very nice in the past, so we'll get this fixed." I mean, honestly, this could mean anything. I don't know. I feel like this is not like a let's attack the shit out of Justin Baldoni. This is what we're going to do, right? It's just like, okay, this person will fix things for us. I don't know. Need more. More. 17, the Times compound its journalistic failures. Hi, Cody. Happy New Year. Hey, Jan. How's it going? No, you read the synopsis. Don't read the synopsis. Do not read the synopsis. Stop it. Quit it. Just watch the fucking thing. No synopsis. Bad. All right. The Times compounded its journalistic failures by uncritically advancing Lively's unsubstantiated claims of sexual harassment against Heath and Baldoni. For example, the article based on Lively's CRD complaint sensationally alleges that Mr. Heath had shown Lively a video of his naked wife, with Lively's CRD complaint even labeling a footage as pornography. I remember in the complaint, it mentioned that they showed a video to Blake Lively. Blake Lively saw a woman that like had her legs spread and she just assumed it was pornography. But then she realized it was a woman giving birth. And Mr. Heath was like, oh, that's my wife. And then she's like, oh, did your wife give consent to like, does your wife know you're like showing videos like this? And Mr. Heath was like, oh, like my wife doesn't care. She's like a very open person or something. That was my take from that. This claim is patently absurd. The video in question was a non-pornographic recording of Heath's wife and baby during a home birth, a deeply personal one with no sexual overtone. To distort this benign event of an act of sexual misconduct is outrageous and emblematic the lengths to which Lively and her collaborators are willing to go to defame plaintiffs. I just don't know how it happened though. So maybe it was like, hey, you know, like maybe they were like rolling ideas about the birthing scene, right? And then maybe he wanted to be helpful, be like, oh, hey, here, like, you know, here's a video of my wife giving birth. Or maybe he just like showed it to them without giving context. And they're just like, whoa, what the fuck is this? You know? I think the image is fine to be seen on YouTube. Let me see. You don't really see. I can't tell if that's her boob or not. Maybe I won't show it. I can't tell if that's her boob or not, but I think you don't see anything. But just in case, I'll put it in the Discord and y'all can look at the image there. It's just an image of her with her baby in her hands. It looks like a water birth. And there's like, maybe is that Mr. Heath? Basically like sitting behind his wife possibly. Or I don't know if that's like the midwife, but I'm assuming that's him. I put it in the Discord. 18, the Times failed to scrutinize these claims for even balance, provided balanced account of the events further underscores its role in amplifying Lively's falsehoods while abandoning its responsibility to truth and accuracy. The video was shown to Lively as a part of a creative discussion in preparation for the birthing scene in the film. Heath informed Lively that his wife condoned his displaying the video. Any suggestion that Heath engaged in the exhibition of pornography or inappropriate content is false. 19. Adhering to the sexual harassment narrative is the article's pivoted accusation that both men repeatedly entered her makeup trail uninvited while she was undressed, including when she was breastfeeding. What Lively and the article failed to mention that Lively invited Baldoni into her trailer while pumping to work out their line. So I wonder if it was just, it made it seem like they kept doing it repeatedly. This is like one of the times that they mentioned in this text message. So I don't know if like there was more times that this happened. So now we're getting some text messages between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. May 26, 2023. Blake, I'm so sorry to hear that you and baby are sick. Broken heart. I know it's literally the last thing you need right now on top of a tough week. I pray it comes and goes with mild symptoms and more than anything that he is okay. If you feel up for it, I'm here absolutely anytime and would love to check in. I know this week was a lot and I'm committing to making things run smoother across the board. What's with this mushroom thing? He has Blake Lively save as like mushroom. I wonder if he changed it now to like that bitch. Or he had to like change it back because it was like a different name. Okay, I'm just in my own head here right now. June 2nd. Sure, Paul's saying, our mistake, Molly did get the new pages at 11 p.m. last night. She didn't realize they were new, but new pages can always be sent to me as well, please, X. So I think this is very strategic here that they decided to include this text message because we didn't need this text message. This text message was like way days before, but they included it because it's like, oh, this makes Justin Baldoni looks good. Yeah. Strategic. Strategic. All right. All right, Blake Lively. Our mistake, Molly did get the new pages at 11 p.m. last night. She didn't realize they were new, but new pages can always be sent to me as well, please. Blake writes, I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines. Okay. Justin Baldoni, copy, eating with crew, and we'll head that way. Blake writes back, take your time. Justin, I'm here. I'll meet you in. Hit me up, I think. Blake writes, sorry, I'm just seeing this. Justin Baldoni, this is basically like a version of like the script. So they're trying to say that, hey, you know, we're not being creeps here. We're not busting in on her while she's breastfeeding. Here's a text message of her inviting Justin Baldoni to work the lines together while she's pumping in the trailer. So I don't know if it was just like maybe this time it was okay, or maybe she was pumping right now and then she wanted to work the lines afterwards, or if there were occasions where he would just bust in. I don't know. So we're getting more context, but we're not getting, we need more information from other people, other witnesses. I think that would really help a lot. 20. Hi, Casey. This is crazy, to be honest. They started filming like 2 years ago. Awful things happened. Strikes happened. January 4th meeting. Then PR got involved. Yeah. Wild. It's crazy because I'm looking at pictures of them filming together about a year ago. And then like, Jesus, it's like a year and a half later, everyone just like suing each other. Crazy. 20. Likewise, the allegations that Baldoni inappropriately described Lively's character's attire as sexy is exaggerated and misleading. So again, this refers to Blake Lively. She was wearing a low-cut top because it made it easier for her to pump or breastfeed, I forgot. And then I think she was wearing like a coat on top of it. They were at a bar together with the other cast members, and I think Justin Baldoni was like telling her to like open her whatever and to show, and he called it sexy, and she's like, that's not what I was going for. And he's like, hot. She's like, that's not what I'm going for either. Something like that. And then he was like, well, I guess I missed the HR meeting. And then he like walked away or something like that. So let's see what they say. When Baldoni later used the word sexy, the text exchange between Baldoni and Lively showed that Lively had insisted that her character's clothing be much sexier. When Baldoni later used the word sexy, he was just responding to her creative input, not objectifying her personally. Lively set the tone that Baldoni heeded during the creative process. May 17, Blake Lively, just text Ange this also. She also writes, we'll show you both ways, but Beanie is much sexier. It's the look, feels TV without, especially with a crop top in the snow. It justifies the rest of the skin. And also is a girl I would check out walking down the street because it washes the effort off the rest of the look. Also, okay, this is like supposed to take place in Boston. Who the fuck wears a crop top in the fucking snow? I have questions about these choices of outfits. Okay, crop top? Really? No, it's too fucking cold. Hell no. It would have to be a special occasion, like maybe if you're going clubbing or if it's like, I don't know, like some New Year's thing or something. But like crop top in the fucking snow? Psh, yeah, right. Especially if your jacket's all loud and then you can see it. No. All right, like I said, I have a lot of comments about the choice of outfits here. Let me go down. Justin Baldoni, good morning. Oh, gold morning. If you don't have time to listen with morning craziness, here's the text. Just want to make sure okay with throwing the jacket on from yesterday morning or putting it in your... I want to line up a shot and see if I can just use a piece of the shoulder for the establishing shot, the old cafe we didn't get yesterday. I might not need it, but just want to cover. See you soon. Like Lively responds back. If it's just her shoulder, no problem. If it's her body or her head, etc., then it should be me. I was wondering about not having that shot, but kept it to myself. Smiley face. Justin writes back, yeah, we ran out of time. Oh, you know what would be good to know? When we get more text messages in the future, if those emojis are also omitted, let's see. Because then that would follow whether or not they purposely omitted the emoji, or if it's just the way, maybe like the software, when you're importing the messages over, the emoji doesn't import over, which I have a hard time believing, by the way. But I don't know, technology, sometimes weird things happen. Justin Baldoni writes, yeah, we ran out of time. I want to line it up with the shoulder, and if it doesn't work, then when you're dressed, we'll figure it out. By the way, if you're ever wondering if we have a shot or need one, I don't ever feel it's overstepping if you bring it up to me. FYI, Brandon just landed, we're talking character, no one waiting. Blake Lively writes, mortified. They dropped me off at the flower shop. I was in the wrong spot. He writes back, just want to check in on you this morning after. So, like I mentioned, we're going to need a lot of context from witnesses. Was he being creepy? Or was he addressing wardrobe stuff about a previous conversation? I don't know, because I feel like you could be addressing something that you previously talked about. It could be possible that Blake Lively set the tone by using the word sexy, but later on, if he said sexy to her in a very creepy way, I mean, it could still be kind of like harassment, right? But I don't know. I don't know because we need to hear from other people. I don't think this shows that like, oh, it's possible that, you know, Justin Baldoni does have an explanation for his actions. But it's also possible that, you know, he could have also still been creepy. I don't know. Still waiting. Again, we're just a sponge right now, absorbing this information. 21, also misleading. The article draws on Lively's assertion that Baldoni improvised unwanted kissing and discussed his sex life. That's right. Blake Lively said that there was like one part where they were practicing a kiss and he like bit on her bottom lip and sucked on it or something like that. Like slightly bit on it and then like sucked on her bottom lip very slightly, I think. However, both the Times and Lively intentionally exclude that Lively refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator to plan the film's sex scene. Baldoni, in turn, was forced to meet with the intimacy coordinator alone and relay any suggestions to Lively separately. Remember how we had questions? We're like, where was the intimacy coordinator? Were they hired from the beginning of the movie, from the middle of the movie, it seems like there was an intimacy coordinator that was hired before the filming happened, which would make sense because you want to discuss, you know, how you want to do certain scenes before you start filming, right? That way you're not scrambling. Notwithstanding Baldoni's reluctance, he and Lively would later sketch out the scenes together, absent the intimacy coordinator. As part of the creative discussions, Baldoni and Lively sought to personalize and develop their characters, and in doing so, engage in conversation about their individual experiences. The Times, taking Lively's CRD complaint as true, characterizes this discussion as an inappropriate attempt by Baldoni to talk about his sex life. It was not. More still, Baldoni consistently acted in the direction of the intimacy coordinator. These baseless accusations do not constitute sexual harassment. Justin Baldoni writes to Blake Lively, just hired intimacy coordinator who I love, will set you up to meet slash FT. Fuck, what is FT? FT, meet slash follow through, maybe? With her next week for intro. Does anyone know what FT means? We have thumbs up here. Blake Lively writes back, I feel good. I can meet her when we start. Smiley face. Thank you, though. Thumbs up. Just FYI. Justin Baldoni is writing this to a female producer. Just wanted to tell you about this. Seems she doesn't want to meet intimacy coordinator until we start, which may mess up the workflow, but I can still meet with her, of course. Female producer writes back, that's fine. If she doesn't want to meet her now, you'll just have her walk through what you said and intimacy coordinator are thinking. Despite its efforts to craft a distorted narrative, the Times fails to address a glaring contradiction in Blake Lively's CRD complaint. After the execution of the protections for returns production agreement in November 23rd, 2023, Lively herself acknowledges the film was completed, marketed, and released safely and successfully, while Wayfair, Baldoni, and Heath disagreed with Lively's rationale for requesting the document. Many of its provisions were already standard practice. They chose to comply for the sake of the film and to ensure Lively's comfort. Okay, I have to go back to this protections for return to production, because I know that they're trying to say the list of 30 items, they were trying to say that they didn't see that during that time, and they only found out about it when the complaint was filed. Let me go back to this. Let's see. How's everyone? Oh, FaceTime. Duh. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. I mean, it seems like, from what I remember from Blake Lively's complaint, I think she was trying to say that while they were filming, there were scenes where there was like physical touch and it was like intimacy between the two lead roles, that an intimacy coordinator was not present during those times. And moving forward, they want someone to be present. So I don't know if I agree with you. I don't think it really shows much. It just shows that Blake Lively just didn't want to meet with the intimacy coordinator before filming starts. She wanted to meet with them during, which to me, I'm like, I don't know. It's probably better to prepare ahead of time, but what the fuck do I know, right? I just remember with Blake Lively's complaint, she wanted to have an intimacy coordinator during these like intimate scenes. So this list of 30 things, apparently just about he said he didn't even see this. Let's see, January 4 meeting. I want to see what's the list of the returns protection. Return. In mid-November 2023, the parties agreed in writing to implement a list of protections. Attach Exhibit A. Okay, Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Exhibit D, C. Is Exhibit A? I think it's Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Oh, no, that's not A. What is this? Okay, Exhibit A. Okay, I'm going to use the restroom really quick. Guys, get up, do a quick stretch, and we'll read. Making sex scenes in films would be hard to navigate through. Yes. I always wonder, how the fuck do they film it? How do they do the sex scenes? Especially, how do you pretend to love someone in a movie if you like fucking hated them in real life? If you didn't get along with them, or if you thought they were sexually harassing you, right? It's like, oh gosh. Some tough shit. Okay, so this is the protections for the return to production. Intimacy coordinator must be present at all time when BL is present. There must be a close set during the rehearsal. There's no spontaneous improvising any scenes involving physical touching, simulated sex, or nudity. No physical touching or comments on Blake Lively's physical appearance must only be made in connection with the film. No discussion of personal experience with sex or nudity, including as it relates to conduct with spouses or others. No one will attempt to enter into Blake Lively's trailer while she's undressed for any reason. No rehearsal or filming of any nudity or simulated sex without a nudity writer in place. Blake Lively may have rep of her choosing present with her on set. If Blake is exposed to COVID, she must be provided notice. No retaliation against Blake for raising concerns. Sony must have a mutually approved representation on the set for the remainder of the rehearsal and shooting days. Wayfair would engage an additional experienced A-level producer approved by Blake Lively. Wayfair must empower a existing third-party producer with appropriate and customary authority to actively supervise the production. Wayfair would engage A-list stunt double approved by Blake Lively. So they're saying that they got this right here, and this is all like standard industry stuff anyways. Yep, and this is a signed version of it. So by Jamie Heath. Sorry, his name is Jamie. I've been calling him James the entire time. I'm so sorry. Jamie Heath and Blake Lively. Yep, it was signed. Yeah, sent to Jamie Heath, viewed by Jamie Heath, signed by Jamie Heath. Okay. Now, I think Justin Baldoni, what he's alleging is that list of 30 things, he said he never saw that until I think the complaint was filed by Blake Lively. Where the fuck was I? Here. Why is it at 200%? Oh my gosh. Wait, did I have it that zoomed in? Was it this zoomed in? Okay, I think this is better. Hey, Speak Geek, or Geek Speak. How are you doing today? Hello, hello. Our intimacy coordinator, the protections for return. Okay, I'm just getting my bearings. After the execution, the protections for return to production agreement in 2023 of November, Lively herself acknowledges that the film was completed, marketed, and released safely and successfully. While Wayfair, Baldoni, and Heath disagreed with Lively's rationale for requesting the document, many of its provisions were already standard practice. They chose to comply for the sake of the film and to ensure Lively's comfort. 23. Crucially, Lively concedes that neither Baldoni nor Heath engaged in any harassing behavior following their agreement in November 2023. Furthermore, she admits that her stated concerns were sufficiently addressed at that time. This admission directly undermines her allegations of retaliation and strips her claim of credibility. I don't understand this part, though. Without the fabricated smear campaign narrative propping up her CRD complaint, Lively's retaliation claim collapses under its own contradictions, exposing it yet as another ploy to salvage her public image rather than pursue any legitimate grievance. This admission undermines her allegations. Because I think she was trying to say that there was some sexual harassment stuff that happened before. And because, Baldoni was afraid it would come to light, he retaliated by having a smear campaign against her. I think that was all in Blake Lively's original complaint. 24, the fact that Lively embarked on a hostile takeover production, strong-arming. This part I thought was fucking wild. I mean, honestly, am I surprised that things like this happen? No. There's a lot of huge personalities. There's lots of egos there. This part was pretty wild to me too. 24, the fact that Lively embarked on a hostile takeover of the production, strong-arming Sony into blessing her with the ultimate control as they became increasingly frantic and unsettled by the usurpation of the roles. Baldoni remained resolute that they continue to take the high road and be proud of the beautiful baby they had made together. Notwithstanding, Lively waged war on Baldoni, weaponized innocuous interactions from May and June 2023, long before there was any tension between them to vilify and discredit him. At the time, Baldoni and Lively had a solid working relationship, and Lively expressed no unease around him. Only after the writer's strike has ended and filming was set to resume did Lively express any concerns about returning to set. In response, Wayfarer and Baldoni agreed to all Lively's demand. Oh, hey, Kat, how are you doing today? Yes, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. How's it going? Justin Baldoni writes to the Dream Team. These are a team of editors. Justin Baldoni writes, just curious if you guys have peeked at her cut or if anything has changed. Editor 2, I have just been told that we are not permitted to look. Justin Baldoni, haha, wow. When did that happen? Editor 1, ask for Sodi. Editor 2, this evening through Redacted. Justin Baldoni, wow, okay then. The editors and the director isn't allowed to look at an actress's cut. Got it. Well, here we go. We will keep taking the high road. 25. To suggest, as Times does, the plaintiffs engaged in dark arts, what is fucking Harry Potter, to destroy Lively's reputation is to ignore that Lively had long-standing reputational challenges and that the plaintiffs' public relations effort were rudimentary and above board and entirely defensive. The Times willingly omits any meaningful discussion of any true source of tension between Lively and plaintiffs, which is Lively's brazen and calculated effort to expropriate the film. Hi, Fire. Hey, JD, how are you doing today? Harry Potter. Yes, Harry Potter. Has Baldoni directed any movie before? I went on Wayfarer, and there was like other movies that were under their belt. I don't know if he directed those. This is... Who is this? I don't know who this is. Tag team from... Maybe Melissa Nathan? Not sure. Someone from Tag Team writes, like, come on, we had nothing to do with that. Blue writes back, this is crazy. She doesn't have a good reputation. All of this is just organic stuff from real people making TikToks, not bots. Respond back. Exactly. If it was just comments, I'd be like, oops, but it's not. LOL. Here's a link from Melissa Nathan. Blake Lively is slammed over how she styled younger actress. I don't know. What's wrong with that? Florals, I guess. Dream Team, Editor 1. This is on February 25th. Hey, just checking in. Hope you're hanging in there. We're going to get through this. Damn it. Just about nobody writes back. Thanks for checking in. I've sat with, and I think the best path forward spiritually, and what's best for the movie is that I suck it up and let her in. I've sent a message requesting that it start on 18th, and then we would just let her in until she leaves, and then her cuts and updates throughout the process. I'll let you guys know what she says. Thanks for being awesome. Dream Team, Editor 2. We got you. Editor 1. I think that sounds like a very good plan on all fronts. Justin Baldoni writes to the Dream Team, we made a beautiful baby together. This baby might not grow up to exactly who we thought, but it's still beautiful. That's what I'm holding on to. Very proud of us. July 1st, Editor 1. Wow, I can't say I'm shocked because I was hoping that you were going to be able to not let this beat you down, and it sounds like you've achieved that. And yes, the movie we handed to her was so good that even if it's been screwed with, the base work will still shine through. The last I heard was that she was putting back a fair amount of art version, just not sure what that entailed or to what extent. I guess you'll find out today. Hang in there, we all catch up when the wounds are not quite as fresh. Sending love to you both. 26. The Times assertion that plaintiffs orchestrated a campaign to tarnish Lively's reputation blatantly disregards her bizarre behavior at the time and misrepresents plaintiffs' actions, which were modest, transparent, and purely defensive. The article entirely sidesteps the real source of conflict between Lively and plaintiffs, Lively's calculated and audacious attempt to seize control of the film. I don't know when this is. Is this August something? I can't tell. It's hard to see this. I'll try to zoom in more for y'all. It's hard to see. This is from Jen Abel, the publicist. Hi, Jamie. Just filled me in about BookCon. I know this is devastating and such a kick in the gut. It's petty and childish at this point. I'm just making sure you're okay. We will get through this. Eye on the prize. Her attending BookCon is a win for the film, ultimately. And if she wants to drag her ass to Texas, then let her. You could be home with your family, which is important. Oh, hi, Jamie just filled me in. Okay, so I think Jennifer Abel is writing this to Justin Baldoni because maybe there was an event that Justin Baldoni was supposed to attend and he got excluded. Justin Baldoni writes back, She's kicked me out officially from the film now. She's finishing it all. I can't be involved. Music, sound, video effects, everything. I'll make it through somehow. Just need to feel it all. Ooh, this is even harder to read. Jesus. Okay. I will try my best. I don't know what the date is. Justin Baldoni writes, hey, can we get a call in the books to discuss overall strategy and also the sensitivity of what we are going to with their release? I'd love Steph there as well, and Jamie and someone. Jenny will raise back. Absolutely. Steph is still recovering from surgery and likely not available for this until another week. I can check with her schedule and come back with you with dates. We talked about the sensitivity and importance of what we can say about the No More partnership on the last touch base we had with Jamie and someone, as we need to hone in on that messaging and start planting those seeds as we get closer. Also, any word on if it has been proposed yet to Sony about pushing release to July? Justin Baldoni, no, this is sensitivity about Blake. Copy response. Justin Baldoni writes back, give Jamie a call right now so he can update you on what's happening. Jane Abel writes, oh boy, okay, calling him now. Just spoke to him. What a horrible person, but nothing we can't handle. What's important is that you do what you need to do and have a space to make a great movie. I'll touch base with Steph and get a sense of her recovery when she will be up for a call. So now it's starting to make sense to me because Jennifer Abel and Melissa Nathan kept talking about how Blake Lively was making their lives harder, more miserable. And I was like, how? What was going on? And it's because, of all the stuff that I guess purportedly Justin Baldoni is dealing with. Now, we don't know if Justin Baldoni is being outed from this whole project, officially it seems, because of his misconduct or if his creative differences. Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Number 27, notably absent from the Times narrative's Lively's insistence on obtaining editing privileges and demanding her own version of a film, a departure from industry standards. I wish we could see both cuts of the film. All I know is when I watched the movie towards the end, I was like, this didn't seem very well put together. The ending, at least. It felt very janky. Even more egregiously, Lively leveraged her promotional commitments to pressure for the release of her cut, evidence of Baldoni's efforts to accommodate Lively's demands, including a series of text exchanges with editors who later replaced by Lively in favor of her husband's editor, underscores extreme lengths Baldoni went to in order to preserve the film's integrity. Yes, I did hear that she did hire an editor that edited, I think, Deadpool to do this movie. The Times' willful omission of these critical details not only distorts the truth, but also perpetuates a false narrative that conveniently absolves Lively for her own culpability in the unraveling of professional relationships and the upheaval surrounding the film. But I wonder if the ending felt janky because of the edits, or if they just didn't get some shots because towards the end, the contention between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively was just like so evident that it was hard to get good shots between the two of them. I don't know. This is from Justin Baldoni to his dream team of editors. Redacted Blake wants to know when you could be there next week. Editor 2, I can fly on Sunday or Monday. Up to you guys. Justin Baldoni writes, and would you prefer to be there or edit from home? Editor 2, I honestly don't have a preference. Editor 1, and so it begins. ... Justin Baldoni, we could push for you to stay home. It's up to you. Editor 2, both have pros and cons. I want Blake to feel like she's getting what she wants so we can move on from this need of hers. Justin Baldoni writes, for the record, she's been getting what she wants this entire movie. Editor 2, I understand. Justin Baldoni, and she's getting to edit, which is what she wants. Let's remember that. LOL. Editor 2, yes, and yet. ... True, Justin Baldoni writes. Editor 2, I don't want to give her any opportunity to say, well, because Redacted was in LA, we could only work certain hours, so I need more time, and I didn't really get what I needed or whatever it may be. Justin Baldoni writes back. Point is, if you feel it's best and you want to go there, no problem at all. And also, if you would like to stay home, that's something we can say. I just want you to do what's best for you. My assessment for so far is this case is crazy. Justin Baldoni texts with the dream team again. They are showing it at Book Bonanza. Editor 2, the whole movie? He writes back, yep, hers. Editor 1, wow. Justin Baldoni, was supposed to be ours and then I was uninvited. Hands up emoji type of thing. Whole thing is pretty cruel and intense. Editor 1, unfucking believable. Editor 2, ugh, sorry, Justin. Justin writes back, love you both. Editor 1, heart, heart, heart. Editor 2, purple, heart, heart, heart. Editor 1, I hope you love, or at least stomach, the cut that is going out into the world. Justin Baldoni writes, haven't seen it yet, can't yet. Number 28, also missing from the article is Lively's demand for an unearned producer credit, a coveted PGA mark, a demand the Wayfair and Baldoni were forced to concede under duress, as documented internally. Does that mean if you become so like executive producer usually doesn't mean anything, right? It's like, hey, I'm a big star. Give me my executive producer name on the title. Maybe I'll like bankroll some of it. I don't know. I feel like executive producer doesn't really mean shit. But they gave her the PGA, which is like, oh, producer. And they're trying to say that she didn't deserve it. Let's see. I don't know when the date of this was. Jamie Heath writes to a bunch of people. Hi, everyone. I'm writing you all regarding a letter I wrote on behalf of Justin and myself addressing the Producers Guild. As you know, we received a request to write a recommendation on behalf of Blake for her to receive the PGA mark. This was a request we feel was unreasonable and cold-hearted. Essentially, the movie It Ends With Us has been taken unjustly from Justin as a director and essentially from Wayfair's control due to the extortion of Blake. Without going into all the details of the events that have transpired over the months, Justin and I end up agreeing to write the letter due to feeling trapped. She continues to hold a threat over our heads, and every time we try and hold a line, she uses a threat either directly or indirectly to get us to fold. Make no mistake, I'm not suggesting that we're literally forced to acquiesce, but given the high profile of the movie, the partnership with Sony, the amount of money invested, and the need to complete the movie, we have written a letter on her behalf, omitting the truth of how and why she was able to contribute the way we listed. There's nothing to do with this letter now. It only serves as a way to memorialize why the letter was sent in the first place, should we ever need to explain. Thank you. It's like, Jamie Heath is like, if there's ever a lawsuit, let me write this. And that way people could read it later. That could be a strategic thing. Let's see. June 26, 2024. Dear members of the Producer Guild of America, we hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to inform you the significant role and contributions that Blake Lively has played in the making of the film It Ends With Us, based on the best-selling novel by Colleen Hoover. This film has been a great deal both personally to our company, Wayfair Studios, as we optioned the property nearly 5 years ago. As such, we've been directly involved in overseeing every step of the development, from adapting the book to the big screen to bringing in our co-financier, distributor Sony, and of course, casting our lead. From the time Blake has been brought on, she has an instrument of voice in many aspects in the making of the film. Her contributions have been impactful as she consulted with many of the casting options. She helped refine the script. She redesigned her own wardrobe as well as gave notes on others. She contributed to the production design and set decoration and had influence on how many of the scenes were shot. Blake has been very involved in the post-process as well. She had an active role in the edit, the sound mix, and has made decisions on the music selections and score. She also continues to find creative ways to promote the film so they can achieve its greatest success. Since contractually she began the movie with the EP credit, our earlier submission to PGA did not include her as a named producer, but we both feel her contributions have warranted the revised credit and consideration for the PGA mark. Right, because I think they were saying that like she steamrolled over Justin and she took over everything, but then now they're saying that, well, she didn't deserve it. But it's like, what is it? Did she do a lot of shit or did she not do a lot of shit? Or did she not deserve because she did a lot of shit and then she stole it from Justin? 29. Moreover, the article fails to address the fact that Baldoni was systematically sidelined from the marketing of his own film. I guess like what we need to look up is like, what does it take to get this PGA credit, right? What are the requirements? Is it really easy to get this credit or is it kind of like tough too? The article fails to address the fact that Baldoni was systematically sidelined by the marketing of his own film from the very beginning. Baldoni had insisted on marketing the film with a focus on domestic violence and its survivors and a message that was integral to the film's purpose. Yet Lively drastically limited his input and deliberately steered the promotional campaign away from its societal message. Was it him or was it Sony? Because we have that, that proof of what Sony wanted, the proof from Sony that they wanted, Blake Lively and the cast members to promote the movie a certain way, right? Further undermining Baldoni's role, Lively initially refused to permit his attendance at the film's premiere. Only after significant pressure did she reluctantly agree to allow Baldoni, the Wayfair team, to attend, but under humiliating conditions. Yeah, this part was like, dude, that fucking sucks. And it does seem really humiliating. Now, I don't know if it's because Blake Lively was just like, why would Blake Lively shit on Justin Baldoni this bad if there was no sexual harassment happening behind the scenes and it was just creative differences, but she was winning, she was getting her way? Like, why would she do this, right? To me, it just makes more sense if like the reason why he was ostracized was because the cast members, Blake Lively, had issues with Justin Baldoni and no one wanted anything to do with him. I don't know, it's just crazy to me. Further undermining Baldoni's role, Lively initially refused to permit his attendance at the film's premiere. Only after significant pressure did she reluctantly agree to allow Baldoni and the Wayfair team to attend, but under humiliating conditions. This is why I'm saying that, like, we need to hear from other people. We need to hear from other witnesses. We need some affidavits. We need the trial to happen. Let's let's get the trial going. The Wayfarer team and their families, including Baldoni and Heath, were segregated from the main cast, barred from the exclusive after party, and were forced, like, this is so sad, forced to organize their own event at the additional cost. But, like, it's sad because it's like, damn, he, like, couldn't attend the party. He had to, like, organize his own thing. His family members were there, friends were there. But I don't know if it's because of his actions, because of sexual harassment, or if Blake Lively was being mean, if she was, like, being a piece of shit. Like, there's just so much we don't know, right? But it does sound kind of, like, sad. Baldoni's participation on the red carpet was cut short, and his friends and family were confined to a makeshift holding area in the basement before being escorted to a separate theater after Lively's departure. Not only had Lively stolen the film, but she also robbed Baldoni and his team of any genuine opportunity to celebrate their work. Like, Jesus. Should not have made the movie at all. What a shit show. Jen Abel. But nothing we can't get through together. This film will be successful. She's already promoted heavily, so if she backs away now, it looks worse on her, and you just focus on the bigger picture of how this film is going to change the game for you and the studio. Justin Baldoni writes, just find ways to keep me busy when she gets everyone together. Obviously, if the whole cast is making content together, that's her trying to clue people onto there being an issue. Everything she does is calculated, yet also manic. So now I want to know, like, are the cast members, are they on team Blake Lively because they're like, oh, here's the power couple, I want to be in Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' good graces? Or did they genuinely just did not like Justin Baldoni because of certain things that he may have done? Like, we got to hear from other people. I need more people. Jen Abel, I hear you, and we are already ahead of this with Sony, who has her back here. I feel good about that, and they understand the larger issue if fans start poking holes. That doesn't benefit Sony either. Justin Baldoni writes, she doesn't want to be the bad guy, so she'll find a way to say it without saying it. Jen Abel, and that's why we just stay ahead of it. Justin Baldoni, attempting to rewrite history like I'm not the one who developed this and spent 5 years trying to make it, and like there's an issue with me, it's just mean and hurtful, and she knows exactly what she's doing. Right, what's the issue? What's the issue? That's what we want to know. What is the fucking issue? Justin Baldoni writes to the Dream Team, infection in my spine, pretty serious, great doctors, caught it early, redacted had a feeling. My body is done, too much stress, will be in the hospital probably until Tuesday now, then IV antibiotics via a PICC line for 6 weeks, which means I can't travel. Regarding Garfield, so happy he liked it. Oh, is that Garfield the movie? Editor 1. Damn. Then, hey, Liz, how are you doing today? How's it going? Damn, then just take care of yourself. If Blake is so determined to handle the marketing on the movie, then just let her be. Perfect time to look out for number 1, ... It's him at the hospital. Justin Baldoni writes, if you think about it, we didn't even finish our director's cut because she intervened. So ideally, at some point, we can take a week and we can just do it together for ourselves. But that opens up a can of worms, so we will need to let this play out for a while before we can pull that card. And your door will be knocked on. The amount of women who feel seen, that it's reaching people all over the world, that men are remembering their own traumas and having conversations with their partners, that's why we did this, and it worked. Still the Dream Team. Editor 2, incredible. That's the best news. Editor 1, exactly. The most important thing. Dream Team, Editor 1, too late. Redacted and I talked early and agreed we just couldn't be in the same room with Blake. The last day to get our tickets was August 2nd. So they couldn't be in the same room because they chose not to be in the same room, or were they not allowed to be in the same room? Too late, redacted, and I talked early and agreed we just couldn't be in the same room with Blake. Okay, so they agreed. They didn't want to be in the same room with her. The last day to get our tickets was August 2nd. Editor 2, we'll be loving all the red carpet looks from you, Justin. Justin Baldoni writes, long story, but we won't be in the same room. I was asked to not even come to the premiere. I can figure it out. Editor 2, I'm glad you're going. You did all the work. Editor 1, that was the main reason we didn't go, because we were under the impression you wouldn't be there. Oh, I see a heart emoji there. There's a lot of hearsay in these text messages. Justin Baldoni. Well, if you decide to change your mind last minute, let me know and we'll figure it out together. I'm going to be there. That's just different timing and holding areas and theaters and all the things you can imagine. It's still our film. Editor 2. It would be very hard for me to sit and watch the final film for the first time at the premiere. Just cheer for us when our names come up. Sending all love. Just about any rates. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it either. Editor 2, crazy times. Yeah, like this could just, like, if if it's exactly what Justin Baldoni's alleging, and all this happened to him, and he like doesn't know why he got like sidelined, and like Blake Lively took over, and then now he couldn't attend the premiere. It's like yeah, it's really fucking sad. But it makes you wonder, why the fuck was she so aggressive with Justin Baldoni? Or it seems, based on these text messages. I think these are DMs that Justin Baldoni was getting, or comments, I think. As a DV survivor of my teens, on my 40s, this movie gave me the strength to leave. Despite warnings, he continued with his raging tone. I'm heartbroken, but I've endured 6.5 years of this. Had been in DV at 16 when I had to put an RO against him and my son, who's now 23. I end up in the same relationship with a different man at the age of 34. I'm now 40, almost 41, and this movie helped me. I think this is Justin Baldoni. This is why we do this. Here's a TikTok video. I think it's just about donating. Well, this is why I made the film. Can we reshare somehow to amplify stories? Maybe. So maybe this is addressing Justin Baldoni initially wanting to share stories about DV. I think in the Blake Lively complaint, they were trying to say that like he was trying to show DMs, share the DMs that he was getting from DV victims. DV survivors. And then his publicist like talked him out of it or something. So I don't know if this like sort of addresses it. Maybe not. I don't know. Ish. When Wayfair and Baldoni hired Lively to appear in the film, they did not anticipate that she would execute a hostile takeover of the entire project. Lively's cynical abuse of sexual harassment allegations to assert unilateral control over every aspect of the production was both strategic and manipulative. Simultaneously, her public image suffered as a result of a series of high-profile blunders, which she tried to deflect by blaming plaintiffs for the public prying interest into the how do you pronounce it? Foibles? Do I pronounce the I? Foibles? Fuck this word. Foib? How do you say this word?
Foible.
What?
Foible.
Go away. Hold on.
Foible.
Foible. I hate this word. That's it. The foible. Foibles. Okay, the S throws me off. The S really throws me off. I hate it. Pronounce the I. Okay, I'm Esau. Okay, I grew up in Esau. It's hard. Foibles. Sometimes I slip too because when I was a kid, I would pronounce chicken as chicken, and I didn't know the difference. I was like, chicken. I love chicken. And then I remember in middle school, I was like, yeah, I love shares, and they're like, what are you trying to say? And like my friends like Dogpod made fun of me. So sometimes I slip and I don't pronounce my CHs. Yeah. I love sitting on chickens and shares, and oh my god, yeah. Simultaneously, her public image suffered as a result of a series of high-profile blunders, which she tried to deflect by blaming plaintiffs for their public prying interest into the foibles of an A-list celebrity. This is nothing but an excuse. Fame is a double-edged sword, but Lively's tactics here are unconscionable. Foibles, bottle of water, Harry Potter. Alongside the time she orchestrated a malicious attack on the reputations, careers, and personal lives of plaintiffs, subjecting them to public humiliation, threats, and vitriol. The lawsuit seeks to hold the Times accountable for its role in the defamation campaign, but the plaintiffs are not done. There are other bad actors involved, and make no mistake, this would not be the last lawsuit. Ooh, they're gonna go after Blake Lively next. Again, we're getting like death threats from unhinged people. They just sound fucking unhinged. I think this is to, is it Melissa Nathan or Tag maybe? This one's to Melissa Nathan. Unhinge. Don't do that. This talks about jurisdiction, where everyone lives. I think everyone mostly lives in California. New York Times has offices in California. They do business mainly in, their principal business is in New York. Jurisdiction. Skip. All right. Facts common to all clauses of action. Lively uses unsubstantiated claims to bully Wayfair and Baldoni in an effort to take over the film. In or about early 2019, Baldoni, through his literary agent, contacted the author of the book of which the film is based. He expressed a deep interest in adapting the film into a feature-length motion picture that aligned with his history of impactful storytelling. Baldoni envisioned a film that would shed light on the struggles of DV survivors, amplifying their voices, and inspire societal change. Driven by his unwavering commitment, often at significant personal sacrifice, Baldoni ensured the film stayed true to this vision, ultimately achieving its purpose. On or about May 8, 2019, Wayfair secured an option for the book's rights with the intent of creating the film that would bring a critical attention to the widespread issue of intimate partner violence. They worked on it for 5 years, Baldoni and Wayfair. They secured the rights of the book. They plan to finance a project. Baldoni's committed, Wayfarer's committed to producing the film. Baldoni, whose passion and creative vision were central to the project and would direct and star in it. They partnered with Sony to co-finance and distribute the film. They agreed that 1% of the film's proceeds would be donated to survivors of DV. The 1% was ultimately earmarked for the organization No More, with which Baldoni had wanted to partner as early as September 2022. December 31st, 2022, Lively agreed to take the role of Lily Bloom. As part of the subsequent negotiations, Lively was granted an executive producer credit. Again, like, honestly, that means like nothing. A title often associated with the talent of her stature. It's kind of like an ego thing, I think. Wayfarer did not request that Lively contribute to the film in any capacity beyond her performance with this credit. All right. Lively takes over wardrobe. 51. On or about May 15, 2023, principal photography of the film commenced in New York, New Jersey. During pre-production, Lively began to assert control over aspects of the film beyond her role as an actor and outside the scope of her contractual entitlements. While lead actors are sometimes granted approval over the general look of their on-screen character, this authority typically does not include full control over wardrobe decisions without input from the directors and producers. Nevertheless, Lively overstepped these boundaries, sidelining the production's costume designer and seasoned professional with long-withstanding working relationship with Lively. Did you guys know that remember how Johnny Depp had issues with Disney because they didn't like the way he was portraying Captain Sparrow? They were like, what the fuck is this? Is he a gay pirate or something? I think that's what they said. And it's interesting to see how they plan to have a character a certain way, but then like actors will intervene and be like, no, I think it's better this way, it's better that way. Something that I learned recently was, Mike Myers in Shrek, apparently they wanted him to do a Canadian accent, but Mike Myers was like, nah, like I'm going to do a Scottish accent. And they were like, I don't know about that, man. I don't know. He's like, no. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to film with a Scottish accent and you guys watch the whole thing. Let me know what you guys think of it. And then they were like, oh shit, the Scottish accent works way better with Shrek. So we could have got Canadian Shrek. Anyways, this doesn't really apply to Blake Lively though. So when I watched the film, I did not like the wardrobe choice at all. I was like, some of it looked kind of cute, like edgy. It looked kind of like, like type of my style, but I felt like where the character was at, they just gave her like, I don't know, she was like wearing Louboutins and like all the scenes, like she had like high-end designer clothes and stuff like that. In the book, she's supposed to just be like, just a normal person, dresses normally. However, she does hire a friend who ends up being her best friend who has like an Hermes purse and it is like high designers and all that stuff. Lily herself was not supposed to be clothed in like expensive ass shit. To me, it just didn't make sense, especially because Lily was planning to start her business, a flower shop. It's like, where would she have all this money to afford these like high-end designer shoes? I don't know what was her job before doing the flower shop stuff, but I don't know. It's just like, where the fuck did she get all this money from? I don't know. I didn't like the clothes really. I didn't like the outfits. Some of them were like, oh, this is like kind of cool, but it was just like way too designery for me. Too much designer stuff. All right. Where was I? 52. That totally just came to my mind. LOL. Sometimes the talent might know what'll work better. Yeah, sometimes they do, right? Because they're embodying the character. But I don't know. I did not like the clothing choice for Lily Bloom. I just felt like it was like way too ostentatious for the Lily Bloom character. Like some of the outfits were really fucking hot, but I was just like, I don't know. It was just too much. All right, 52. Ignoring the director's vision for the character and disregarding the weeks spent by the entire team shopping and thoughtfully crafting her wardrobe in preparation for filming. Lively was sent hundreds of images to the film's costume designer during all hours of the evening, pointing them in the direction of appearance she wanted for the character. The costume designer then had to reshop her wardrobe, far exceeding the allocated budget and diverting time and resources. At one point, Lively insisted that her character had money and could afford $5,000 shoes. Yeah, I didn't like that for the character. I just did not. Which had Baldoni rethinking the entire script that he had been working on for well over a year and had been approved by studios. 3. Lively had also spent several times refusing to participate in wardrobe fittings at the production office and merely 15 minutes away from Lively's Tribeca residence. Instead, she insisted the costume department pack up the wardrobe department and deliver all the wardrobe items to her. I mean, that seems like a celebrity thing. Come to me. Loading the wardrobe department on trucks and delivering to Lively's residence for fitting added both time and production to the schedule and expense of the film. Yeesh. Sounds like a fucking headache. Two things production work hard to avoid with careful planning. These demands were never mentioned at the contract negotiation phase and therefore were not included in the budget. Lively, herself having the further obligation to the studios as executive producer, paid no mind to the budget and the months of planning that had already occurred. In K-dramas, majority of the time, main leaves is poor but wears luxury. Yo, they are like decked out and like Chanel and everything. Oh, I don't know. The ones that I watch, they're always like rich fuckers. I've never watched K-dramas where they're poor. Like, where is the K-drama? I've never seen those. Anytime I turn a K-drama, everyone's always fucking rich. It's like, oh, I'm the heir to, oh, you know, this like airline company. My family owns like, like marketing company. Like, everyone's like rich as fuck. Yeah, find me some normal K-dramas where people are just normal. Or they always make it so the girl is poor and then she meets like a rich guy. But then she ends up getting decked out in, you know, designer shit because the guy buys it all for her. I don't know. Like, K-dramas are, I like K-dramas because they're cute, but dude, they just become so like, I don't know, like, I'm like, can we like pivot a little bit? Can we do something else? It's always like the same thing over and over and over again. All right. Even if Lively had a contractual authority to approve her character's wardrobe, which she did not, a grant of such authority would not and could not imply the right to blow up the film's budget with additional anticipated costs. Okay, well, I mean, she's blowing up the budget, but was anyone stopping her? Was anyone telling her, like, hey, girl, you need to chill the fuck out? You know, we got a budget here. Like, what was going on here? Was there any talks about that? 55. In an effort to maintain harmony at the start of the working relationship and to avoid further delays caused by wardrobe conflicts, Baldoni, the studio, reluctantly allowed Lively full control over her wardrobe. This concession quickly proved regrettable. Dun dun. All right, so here comes, remember the meltdown in the trailer? I thought that was bizarre, but now we're getting more background story on this meltdown. 56. On the first day of principal photography, paparazzi captured and published photos of Lively in character wearing her self-selected wardrobe. These images were described as unflattering and sparked a backlash from the film's distributor, Sony. Baldoni received direct criticism from Sony, who voiced concerns about the impact of the photos on the film's public perception. Following these events, Baldoni approached Lively in her trailer to discuss necessary wardrobe adjustments. The conversation, while professional, took considerable time and was later grossly misrepresented in Lively's CRD complaint, falsely characterizing the exchange as a lengthy outburst that delayed filming that caused the crew to wait for hours while Baldoni cried in Lively's dressing room. Yeah, I thought like Baldoni was having a meltdown at how horrible Blake Lively looked in the photos, and he was like in the trailer crying and he wouldn't leave. Like, I don't know, that was just like the picture that I had when I was reading that part. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This account, later published by the Times, is false. Although Baldoni didn't briefly tear up during the conversation, it was in response to what he believed was a genuine compliment from Lively. So this is like, so we're not even getting like close to, these stories aren't even close. We're getting like opposites here, okay? They're saying that Baldoni was crying because Blake Lively looked old and whatever, and he was like upset about that. And it was like something about, oh gosh, I think Blake Lively was saying that like, oh, you know, like after going through this DV thing, like after the character experiencing this DV thing, she wouldn't look glamorous after, you know, going through the whole ordeal. But then it mentioned that Blake Lively looked old or something like that, unattractive or something. Which I don't know. It's like which is it? Did she look old and unattractive, or did she look like she was a mess because she had just gotten into this, you know, argument slash, you know, this DV thing with her husband? All right, 58. Although Baldoni did briefly tear up during the conversation, it was in response to what he thought was a genuine compliment from Lively, praising his work as a director and actor. In hindsight, Baldoni recognizes a manipulative tactic, likely intended to persuade him to continue allowing her unchecked control over wardrobe decisions. So it's like, he's saying that like, yeah, I did tear up a little bit because I thought I was getting a praise from Blake Lively. Her complaint was like, this motherfucker was crying in my fucking trailer because, you know, he was upset that people were calling me old and ugly. It's like, you're getting different stories here. Need to hear more from other people. 59. Lively later leveraged his conversation support for allegations of harassment, alleging that Baldoni made inappropriate comments on her appearance. In reality, Baldoni was relaying the distributor's concerns and the widespread social media criticism regarding the wardrobe's failure to meet audience expectations, a sentiment Baldoni shared. This incident marked the beginning of a troubling pattern of manipulative behavior by Lively. 2. Lively begins rewriting the script. I mean, if she's doing all the shit, then yeah, maybe give her the fucking PGA. 60. During a red carpet interview at New York City celebrity premiere of the film, Lively stated, "The iconic rooftop scene, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you now. This revelation came as a surprise. The film's credited screenwriter, who then later interviewed, graciously responded, "So, if I'm being told that Ryan wrote that, then great. How wonderful." The screenwriter further acknowledged, "There were a few little flourishes that I did not write, and if those flourishes came from Ryan, I think that's wonderful." This was also the first time plaintiffs learned that Reynolds, who had no formal role in the film's production, made unauthorized changes to the script in secret. 61. Furthermore, Lively began herself altering the script daily. The frequency of Lively's revisions alarmed the producers, director, and studio, who anticipated that her interference would persist every day of the shoot and disrupt the production schedule. Each shooting day was already intricately planned. Her constant changes introduced significant stress on the production crew and financial strain. However, just weeks prior, Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, had aggressively berated Baldoni during a meeting at their penthouse in New York, accusing him of fat-shaming Lively. Baldoni, in an effort to avoid further confrontation with Lively and Reynolds and rebuild rapport with his co-star, continued to bend to her will. Now we have more new allegations. What's going on here? Reynolds and Lively's inappropriate and humiliating berating of Baldoni, delivered perhaps intentionally as other celebrity friends were coming in and out of their penthouse, was prompted by Baldoni's reasonable inquiry into crucial information needed to ensure safety and avoid injury in a scene. Baldoni, while training for a physically demanding scene in which his character Ryle would lift Lily, asked the trainer, who was introduced to him by Lively and oversaw his training for the film. So we're getting more details now. So in Blake Lively's original complaint, she said that Justin Baldoni had secretly inquired to Blake Lively's trainer and, basically trying to get the trainer to get Blake Lively to lose weight because there's a scene where he was going to pick her up and he was scared of hurting himself or something. And so Blake Lively said that there was no scene. There's no such thing of Lily being picked up by Ryle. And remember, I was like, well, this is easily solved by seeing the script. Like, was there a scene where Lily was being picked up by Ryle or not, right? But now that we're learning that, the reason why Baldoni, maybe he's asking this trainer is because, well, this trainer is also actually his trainer, although introduced by Blake Lively. So he asked his trainer how much Blake Lively weighed. Baldoni, who suffers from back issues and has multiple bulging discs, made the inquiry to ensure he could safely perform the lift without injury. Unfortunately, the trainer relayed this information to Lively, who then informed Reynolds. The confrontation that followed was so aggressive that Baldoni felt compelled to offer repeated apologies, despite his question being entirely reasonable and made in good faith. Following this incident, Lively refused to perform the lift scene, even though it had already been rehearsed with a stunt double. So now we're getting more witnesses involved. So apparently there are celebrities coming in and out who could be witnessing this berating. There's other people there. Not only that, we know that whether or not this was a real scene, the stunt double could talk about it, right? Was this a real scene? Is it written in the script anywhere? Because Blake Lively said that there was no such thing. 63. In fact, Lively threatened to quit the production together despite her contractual obligations. Lively gave Baldoni an ultimatum to either cast someone else or work with her in the way she works. It was her way or the highway. Recasting would be detrimental to production, sever Wayfair's relationship with Sony, and cost millions. To highlight the effects of masterful gaslighting, Baldoni and Wayfair also truly believed that in an effort to save herself from the backlash of being recast, Lively could leak that she felt fat-shamed by Baldoni, which he thought would ruin his career. Notably, it appears he was not wrong, and despite his efforts to do everything her way, she still tried, continues to try, and arguably did with the helps of times ruin his career, reputation, and well-being. Beyond the script revisions, Lively extended her influence over the film to other areas, frequently challenging decisions and asserting control. She not only rewrote her own dialogue, but made unilateral changes to her characters' lines, effectively altering the script on a broad scale, and the pattern of interference continued to disrupt the production process, often causing stress, chaos, and delay. There's so much hearsay. The witnesses are the only hope to make sense of all of this mess. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. 65. Over the months leading up to the film's release, I don't know. I feel like, yes, we're waiting for the witnesses, and I keep saying that, but it's also going to be really hard because you're going to have people that are like heavily biased, or I don't know if they're afraid of like speaking up a certain way because there's so many like big people here. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm waiting for witnesses to hopefully give us a better picture of everything, right? But might be hard to rely on some of it too. Over the months leading up to the film's release, Lively and her collaborators consistently scrutinized interactions with Baldoni and employed tactics that fall squarely within the fine of gaslighting. This behavior pressured Sony, Baldoni, and Wayfair into ceding control to Lively at every turn, resulting in her domination of nearly every aspect of the film's production. 3. Lively sets a safe of coercion by drafting a protection letter that intentionally misrepresents the nature of the conversation had between Baldoni and or Heath, and Lively demands Wayfarer party sign for Lively to return to work after the industry strikes. Principal photography began on May 15, 2024. From mid-June to early November 2023, production was suspended due to industry guild strikes. The strikes ended November 9. Same day, however, Wayfarer received an unsettling and unexpected email from Lively through her counsel, containing a 17-point list of non-negotiable conditions, which we read earlier, that must be met before Lively would return to work. Wayfarer disagreed as to the basis for requesting these conditions, which insinuated those demands were the result of inappropriate behavior by Baldoni and Heath. The terms were agreeable, and some were already in place. For example, Lively demanded an intimacy coordinator to be present at all times when Lively was on set. In fact, an intimacy coordinator had already begun engaged during the first half of production, but were they there during all the times when they were filming those intimate scenes? It seems like maybe they weren't. So Wayfarer took no issue with this request. Contrary to Lively's assertion, it was she who refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator to plan out scenes. I mean, that text message shows that she didn't want to meet with the intimacy coordinator before filming started. We need more evidence, I guess, to back this up. Putting Baldoni in an awkward position of meeting with the intimacy coordinator alone and later relaying sex scene suggestions to Lively in the intimacy coordinator's absence. I mean, couldn't he just still met with the intimacy coordinator just to get ideas of how things were to be shot? And then when he would meet with Blake Lively again later, instead of relaying that message to her by himself, have that intimacy coordinator there. That way it's not awkward, right? I don't know. Maybe the intimacy coordinator is busy. Not only defeating the purpose of resulting in accusations by the times that began before shooting began, Baldoni wanted to add sex scenes that Lively considered gratuitous. In fact, those scenes were proposed by the intimacy coordinator. This is a well-documented in handwritten notes Baldoni tricked the meetings with the intimacy coordinator. So maybe we'll hear from the intimacy coordinator as well. All right. Justin Baldoni with Blake Lively. Again, this is a text message that we've already read earlier. And then Justin Baldoni is like, oh, it seems like Blake Lively doesn't want to meet with the intimacy coordinator now, which might mess up the workflow, but I will meet with her. And they're like, sure, you can go ahead and meet with her. 68, Baldoni's dated handwritten notes from this meeting with the intimacy coordinator, which again, Lively declined attending, were read to Lively at her penthouse, where she insisted she and Baldoni meet to write sex scenes together. As it was, the sex scenes were not written. It was always Baldoni's intention for them to be written with input from both intimacy coordinator and Lively. Where was the intimacy coordinator? Bring them both here. The female gaze that Lively distorts in her CRD complaint, which the Times then publishes. In response to a proposal from the intimacy coordinator that rile, not orgasm, after he satisfied Lively remarked, I'd be mortified if that happened to me. To which Baldoni followed Lively's lead, in which seemed like an attempt to connect and develop their characters. Remarked that those have been some of the most beautiful moments with my wife and I. Lively again distorts this both in the protections for return to production she made Wayfarer, Heath, and Baldoni sign, and in the CRD complaint when the Times publishes a fact without any investigation whatsoever. First, this suggestion did not originate with Baldoni, and Lively knew this. Second, it was Lively who first personalized the scenes by saying that, oh, if this happened to me, I would be mortified. And third, and perhaps most importantly, they were writing scenes for their characters. 69, Lively claims Baldoni made her feel unsafe when he used the word sexy. Okay, so let's go back to this sex scene thing really quick, because I think Blake Lively was trying to say that, oh, he's adding scenes that are too gratuitous. And he shared that, when him and his wife got married, they both orgasmed together simultaneously. And she's like, that's, I guess, like too much information. She felt uncomfortable with the amount of information, personal information that Justin Baldoni was sharing with Blake Lively. But Justin Baldoni is like, well, I mean, I'm trying to connect with her because she's the one who personalized it first by saying that, oh, if it happened to me, I'd be mortified. And he's just like, well, you shouldn't be mortified, because those are some of the best moments of my wife and I, right? I don't know. There's a lot of he said, she said. All right, so let's talk about the sexy scenes. Lively claims that Baldoni made her feel unsafe when he used the word sexy while discussing a wardrobe adjustment. Hi, Roro. How are you doing today? Why is the intimacy coordinator adding scenes? I think they're just making suggestions for the movie. It's like an expert, I guess, that you hire for the movie. It's like, okay, this is kind of awkward, so we need an intimacy coordinator to help us out. Like, how should we write the scene? How should we sex each other? Lively claims that Baldoni made her feel unsafe when he used the word sexy while discussing a wardrobe adjustment, when in fact, Lively herself had previously indicated both verbally and in a text message shown below that she wanted her character's wardrobe to be sexier. For a scene in which all the characters wore onesies, Lively opted to wear a large coat over hers, obscuring the outfit. Baldoni, as the film's director, suggested that she remove the coat, explained that the look would be sexier without it. So this was like, I think at the bar. It was like a bar scene. Oh gosh, I don't know. I wonder if things are just taken the wrong way, or I wonder if you can tell, if you were there, if you could tell that he was being overtly creepy. Lively took offense to the comment and appeared upset, interpreting it negatively rather than as a creative direction. Maybe there's just too much conflict happening when you are the director and the actor as well. I don't know. Feeling he had upset her, Baldoni apologized despite having made a professional suggestion as a director. Notably, in a separate text exchange, Lively herself used the word sexy to describe one of the characters' outfits while advocating for her own wardrobe choice, an inconsistency that undermines the basis of her complaints. Lots of questions. Lots of questions. Let's see. This is the text message again regarding Blake Lively using the word sexy to describe the character, the outfit that she's wearing. Again, I disagree. Wearing crop top in the fucking snow in the East Coast. Who does that? Who does that? And having your coat open too? Oh my gosh. All right, 70. Lively established what language is acceptable to her and what is not at the very onset of the relationship, just 2 days into filming. To use this language herself, then in turn make a note of each instance where the director used the same language, also to describe wardrobe and character. Again, it's like it depends on how he's using the word sexy, how he's saying it, the context. I don't know. There's so much that goes into it. Is at best a double standard. To generate illicit demands and insinuate he and his business partner act inappropriately and refuse to work unless they agree not to do it again is calculating and even extortionistic. But to then use Wayfair, Baldoni, and Heath's agreement to not do something they already did not do, were not doing, had no intentions of doing, and as to the basis to file a non-public security complaint against them and release to the public herself in order to ruin their reputations is defamation. The Times was directly complicit in this. Lively also established very early that it was acceptable to be present while Lively was breastfeeding. Both Heath and Baldoni have children, are comfortable around breastfeeding mothers, and Lively seem equally comfortable. In fact, Baldoni's wife co-founded a company that makes a breastfeeding garment, a prototype that originated with his mother when he was a baby. So we're getting like lots of information here. Lots of information just being sprinkled in. As revealed in the text message between Baldoni and Lively less than 2 weeks into filming, Lively invited Baldoni to her trailer to rehearse lines while she was pumping breast milk. Lively now alleges that Baldoni and Heath would enter her makeup trailer of their own volition while she was breastfeeding. Again, I mean, this text message shows like one instance where she was breastfeeding, or sorry, she was pumping, and then she was like, hey, like, want to work on our lines, like, come over. But I don't know if it was like by that time she would have been done pumping, or she was wanting to do it while they were working their lines, or what, you know? But like, this is like one instance, right? I don't know. I don't think this really gives us too much context, but a little bit. And this is a text that I read earlier, by the way. In the serious complaint published in part of the Times, Lively suggests Heath walked in her trailer unannounced while in the state of undress and topless, which is false. Heath was invited to her trailer along with a female producer, Baldoni, and a Sony rep. Or what is this? For a meeting requested by Lively. Mr. Heath arrived first to see if Lively was ready for the meeting, and after knocking, being invited in, saw that Lively was breastfeeding. She was not topless. She was having makeup removed from her collarbone while fully covered. So she was trying to say that she wanted to address these complaints that she had against Justin Baldoni, and she wanted to meet. However, when Mr. Heath showed up unannounced, Big Lively said that she was like undressed at the moment, and he's like, well, if you're not gonna have this meeting, there's gonna be no meetings with producers. And so Blake Lively's like, okay, fine, I guess we'll have the meeting, but like make sure you turn around and don't look. So that's what they're referencing to. But now we're getting a little bit of a different story. Heath asked if they should return at a later time. Lively said no. They could move forward with the meeting as initially planned and would meet them after she finished removing makeup. Roughly 2 weeks later, Lively announced that she thought she had seen Heath make eye contact with her. Heath immediately apologized and said he hadn't realized he looked her way, in response to which Lively remarked, I know you weren't trying to cop a look. A reference to this incident conveniently showed up on a document months later, distorted like the others and out of context, and a list of the Times later published as facts. Interesting. So I wonder if she asked him to have his back turned or she just asked him to look down or something. And then he just like, because if you had your back turned to someone and then you like full turn all the way because you're so used to making eye contact with someone, to me, that's like, that's kind of weird, right? But if you were like looking down because you're told not to look directly at them and you're in a conversation with them, you might have a habit of just like looking at them. Like I could see that happening. But I don't know. We're getting different stories here. By the time Wayfair received the protections for return to production document, Wayfair had invested millions of dollars, completed half the film with Lively as the lead, and incurred substantial costs in preparation to resume production immediately following the strikes. However, instead of returning to work as anticipated, they received Lively's list of demands. In the spirit of ensuring Lively felt comfortable on the set, Wayfair promptly agreed to her terms despite disagreeing with the insinuations underlying them. Neither Wayfarer Heath nor Baldoni had engaged in the behavior alluded into the return to production document, nor did they plan to. They thought that was the end of it. They were ready to move ahead and make a great film. It was agreed that filming would resume on January 5th. On the evening of January 4th, 2024, Baldoni, Heath producers producers Todd Black and Alex Sachs, a rep of Sony, I don't know, Christina. I don't know if they witnessed this interaction or if it was afterwards. I'm not too sure. I'm assuming maybe the meeting started when everyone got there, so Sony should have been there, and maybe the other person. They arrived eager to discuss plans for the next day's filming, prepared with their production materials. Instead, they were blindsided by Lively and Reynolds, who presented a list of grievances that were both unanticipated and troubling. Reynolds launched into a tirade berating Baldoni in what Baldoni later described as traumatic encounter, stating he had never been spoken to like that in his life. I just don't understand why Ryan Reynolds would do that, right? If it wasn't like, if these little things were happening and like Lively was getting her way, like if things happen the way Justin Baldoni and his team are representing it, it just seems really weird to me that Blake Lively, for example, would like essentially like try to blacklist him. Or Ryan Reynolds would get into this like giant tirade. I don't know. Reynolds demanded an apology to Lively for actions that were mischaracterized and demonstrably false. See below. When Baldoni resisted apologizing for what he had not done, Reynolds became further enraged. Everyone, including the producer, Lively had asked production to engage, and representative Sony that was in attendance left that meeting in shock. More witnesses. The producer offered that in his 40-year career, he had never seen anyone speak to someone like that in a meeting. The Sony rep mentioned that she would often think of that meeting, and her one regret is that she didn't stop Reynolds' berating of Baldoni. 76. On the very first page of the CRD complaint, Lively inaccurately claims that a list of 30 items was agreed upon during this meeting. This assertion is categorically false. The 30-point list is strategically positioned to appear as if it were a standalone written document. However, no such document was ever presented to Baldoni, the Wayfair team, or to their knowledge, anyone else, whether during that meeting or at any other time, and therefore could not have been agreed to. In reality, many of these items were encountered for the first time in the CRD complaint itself and include references to highly disturbing events that never occurred. Oh, this is what we were hanging on to as well. The repeated use of "no more" before each demand falsely suggests that these alleged incidents had previously taken place and needed to cease. This implication is not only misleading, but entirely untrue. 77. Baldoni and Heath left the meeting deeply unsettled by the implications of Lively and Reynolds' behavior and the power dynamics at play. I don't know. When I hear power dynamics now, I just cringe so much. Like when I hear the words power dynamics, gaslighting, clout, I don't know. These are words that are just like so overused. Sometimes narcissists. I just hear it so much. Faced with the mounting pressure and weighing the financial implications of what shutting down a film halfway through production would mean, Wayfair made the difficult decision to resume production and finish the film despite fears that Lively was intentionally manipulating facts for her own gain. The stakes were extraordinarily high. Financiers had invested substantial resources, hundreds of cast and crew members had endured months without work due to strikes, and nearly 5 years of development had gone into bringing this film to life. Did she read the book? Who? Me or Blake Lively? I read the book. Or does it count as reading the book if it was an audible? Filming resumed without further grievances or references to prior disputes from Lively, a fact that Lively concedes in her CRD complaint. The parties agreed to implement and follow the protections for return to production to ensure that the film could be completed, marketed, and released safely and successfully, and it was. Production of the film resumed on January 5th and concluded on February 9, 2024. The film has been a resounding success. Dude, I heard the budget for this film was like $25 million, and I think they grossed like over 250 or 350 million. Pretty fucking good. So they lied in the legal complaints. The lawyers who drafted that would be putting their license online if they're falsely filed things, right? Well, I mean, the attorneys wouldn't know, right? How would they know? We don't know if they lied in the complaints. Right now, we're just absorbing information like a sponge. There's just too much to absorb right now. The only thing we could really rely on is like, you know, we got text messages. However, text messages can be taken out of context if we're not getting the full entirety thread of the text messages. Yeah, we're just absorbing everything right now. Just like, this is interesting. This is interesting. Oh, wow, that's fucked up. Damn, what the hell is going on here? However, the lasting effects of Lively's allegations left Baldoni uneasy. He and Wayfair continued to make considerable concessions throughout production, all in the interest of successfully delivering an outstanding film. I think there's just like a lot that doesn't really make sense. It seems like Blake Lively's allegations seem to have flowed and made sense to me. Justin Baldoni's, it's like, damn, like, if Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds like hated him this much, what happened? Because he's saying that he didn't do anything. He's saying that, like, you know, I let her take over. I let her take creative control. She got to edit. I kept standing down. It's like, why did they hate you this much then? What happened? It would make sense if they hated him this much because of all the, you know, alleged allegations, right? But from what Baldoni is saying is like, oh, maybe Blake Lively is just like really sensitive and she got a bunch of people to turn against him and people just decided to. I don't know. He and Wayfair continued to make considerable concessions throughout the production, all in the interest of successfully delivering an outstanding film. I read that. Sorry. 4. Lively takes over editing, fires the film's editor and composer, and creates her own version of the film at Wayfair's expense, while the rightful director continues to edit his cut of the film. The Directors Guild of America, DGA, mandates a 10-week protected period. This is kind of cool. I didn't know about this. So directors have a 10-week protected period during which the director of the feature film is entitled to privately edit the film and assemble their director's cut. So cool. I had no idea about that. This period is considered sacred, providing the director with uninterrupted time to creatively shape the final product, an opportunity to experiment, take risks, and redefine and refine until the film fully reflects their artistic vision. For Baldoni, this period represents the pinnacle of the filmmaking process, a time to immerse himself in a creative craft, free from external influences. Unfortunately, he was denied this essential experience. Lively requested to join Baldoni in the editing bay. Why'd you say yes? Be like, no, girl, you give me about 10 weeks, okay? As a seasoned professional with over 20 years experience in the entertainment industry and having grown up in a family deeply involved in the film, they're talking about Blake Lively. I think she comes from, I think her family members were also like in the entertainment industry. Wasn't her mom also like an actress maybe? Having grown up in a film, deeply involved in the film, Lively was aware of the implications of her request. In fact, her request explicitly acknowledged that it infringed upon Baldoni's protected period. Nonetheless, the aftermath of the series allegations she had levied against the production, Baldoni, Wayfair, and Sony reluctantly agreed to grant her access to editing bay for 2 days. Why? Ooh, why did they give her access? Hold on, this light is too warm. Make it a little bit colder. Okay, I think this is better. Way too warm. Nonetheless, in the aftermath of a series false allegations she had leveled against production, Baldoni, Wayfair, Sony reluctantly granted her access to editing bay for 2 weeks. Notably, despite her allegations that Baldoni made her uncomfortable, Lively sought to spend prolonged close time with him in a confined collaborative space of the editing bay. I mean, I get what they're trying to say. They're like, well, if she felt uncomfortable around him, why would she be in a private space with him, just one-on-one, right? Because sometimes like you just have to work together. I don't know, like, you know, like sexual harassment at work, you try to avoid the person, but sometimes you just have to work together, right? I don't know. Maybe afterwards when she, you know, put in that protection thing and maybe Justin Baldoni made a turnaround, she saw that like, okay, I could be around this guy again. Like, he's following the rules. I don't know. 82 would begin as a 2-day collaboration extended to 10 days, during which Lively sought to work alone in the editing bay without Baldoni. Oh my God. Do they not have separate editing bays? Can he not edit in his own space and then she just goes and edit in her own space? Despite Baldoni incorporating 7 pages of her notes into his own edit at the very onset and consistently keeping her involved in every subsequent edit, Lively expressed dissatisfaction with mere collaboration, asserting that she too deserved an opportunity to see her creative vision realized. She requested exclusive time with the editors. In response, Wayfair flew Baldoni's editor to New York to assist Lively in the process. Eventually, Lively fired the film's editors, replacing them with her own choice. I wonder if firing is a strong word. If you decide to go with someone else, it's considered firing, I guess. Specifically, an editor often used by Reynolds. She also fired the film's award-winning composer, replacing him with the composers from Reynolds' recent project. Against repeated objections, Lively created her own cut of the film, and at Sony's expense. Sony later informed Wayfair that Lively would not promote the film unless her demands were met. Can we get an editor's cut? Or did he even get an editor's cut? It seems like he even gets to edit his own vision of the film. Did he? I want to see the editor's cut. When does A Simple Favor 2 come out? Oh, man. With Anna Kendrick. I like that movie, actually. The movie was it was crazy. 83, believing that Lively's edits would simply supplement Baldoni's work, Baldoni continued refining his director's cut. I want to see the director's cut. Is that going to be released? However, faced with the possibility of Lively refusing to promote the film or approve any related marketing materials such as trailers, posters, and social media posts, a scenario that would have catastrophic implications, Wayfair and Baldoni felt compelled to acquiesce. This included funding a friends and family screening of a version of the film they had not approved or even seen, entirely at Lively's instance. Oh boy. Having already invested millions of dollars along with years of time, energy, and personal sacrifice, Wayfair and Baldoni were left with no viable alternatives. Wayfair and Sony found themselves in an unprecedented and uncomfortable predicament. 2 competing versions of the film created by 2 different individuals, one of whom had no contractual or creative right to edit the film, let alone produce their own cut. Faced with Lively's threat to withhold promotion of the film, the studio reluctantly agreed to do an official audience test of both versions, Lively's cut and Baldoni's director's cut. Once again, at Wayfair's and Sony's expense. I have a quick question. Deadpool with Sony? Deadpool's with Sony, right? They're not quite with like Disney and all that stuff yet? Or is it Warner Brothers? No, is it Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers. Fuck, I don't know. This decision was made with the understanding that Lively had agreed with Sony that if Baldoni's director's cut tested higher, she would drop the matter and fully cooperate, and Baldoni could proceed finishing the film without Lively's editorial interferences. Unsurprisingly, despite Baldoni's cut scoring significantly higher with audiences and film's target demographic, Lively reneged on her promise. I know it's Marvel, but what's the production studio? She insisted her cut be the version. Oh, is it Disney now? Deadpool was owned by Fox by Disney. Oh, is it Disney? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Disney, right? Deadpool was owned by Fox by Disney. Owns it now, back like in 2019. They were making a lot of jokes at Disney, weren't they? Deadpool is Disney. Okay. That's weird because Deadpool is like so R-rated. Okay, Deadpool used to be Fox. Gotcha. All right. Fox by Disney. Got it. I promise you guys, I watched the movie. It's just been a while, okay? Unsurprisingly, despite Baldoni's cut scoring significantly higher with audiences in the film's target demographic, Lively reneged on her promise. She insisted that her cut would be the version released to the public, even going so far as to claim that the author of the book would also refuse to promote the film if Lively's version had not been chosen. Oh, also, we want to know, why is Colin Hoover also cutting out Justin Baldoni? I feel like there's just, I don't know. There had to have been something going on. It's like the cast members, Colin Hoover, the author. It's a lot of people that were cutting out Justin Baldoni. It's like not even divided. It just seems to be Justin Baldoni and his team versus everyone else. Under immense pressure, Sony and Wayfair once again conceded. Under the continued threat that in spite of her contractual... I mean, why would Sony concede this much, though? Why? Why would they concede this much? They have a contract with Blake Lively. They could just make her. They could just enforce a contract. Like if Blake Lively was like, "Well, I'm not going to promote the film, Sony. If you're not going to go with my cut, well, they could just be like, well, you need to follow your, you need to complete your contractual obligations." I don't know what's going on here, Sony. Under the continued threat that in spite of her contractual obligation, Lively would not promote the film or approve marketing materials, Wayfair agreed at Sony's behest to give Lively a producer credit, but her commands did not stop there. Lively later sought a coveted PGA mark on her producer credit, a certified designation licensed by the Producers Guild of America to identify producers who have performed the majority of the producing functions on a motion picture. Neither Baldoni nor Wayfair felt Lively fulfilled the requisite criteria to earn this mark. So I don't know if they felt like she didn't deserve it because she essentially just like usurped Justin Baldoni and took everything under her command, her control, you know, with the costume design, rewriting some of the lines, the music input, the cuts and all that stuff. But it seems like since they are alleging that she did a lot of fucking work and she basically took a lot of things away from him, wouldn't that technically give her the producer credit since she did a lot of work? I don't know. Or did they just not agree with her receiving it because of how she went about doing it? 88. Lively demanded that Baldoni, Heath, and other producers and department heads send letters to the PGA in support of her certification for the PGA mark. Despite unanimous recognition of the absurdity and the unsettling nature of what appeared to be an attempt coercion, Sony and other parties ultimately acquiesced and submitted letters of support. Well, something tells you Wayfair is never going to work with Sony ever again. 89. However, because Lively did not perform the duties of a producer and therefore in the professional opinion of the studios did not qualify for the PGA mark. Okay, so I wonder what are the lists of things that producers do then? So maybe even though Blake Lively redid the script, the costume, music, editing, and all that stuff, maybe that is still not considered what a producer does. I don't know. It seems to be like a lot of stuff that she did for the movie. Following their allegations, right? Did not qualify for the PGA mark, a distinction highly valued and taken seriously within the industry. Anyone want to Google PGA really quick? Wayfair and Baldoni refused to misrepresent her contributions to the film, despite having conceded on nearly every other demand to this point. They believe it unjust and unethical to falsely represent to the PGA that she had fulfilled the requisite producing responsibilities. Lively in turn instructed Sony to tell Wayfair and Baldoni that any goodwill left between us is done. But, I mean, it seems like they end up doing it anyways. Eventually, in the face of persistent threats levied against Wayfair and Baldoni, they were left with little choice but to draft and sign a letter on Lively's behalf. Upon doing so, Heath provided a copy of the letter to Wayfair's lawyers, accompanied by a statement indicating that they signed the letter under duress. Lively proceeded to make good on her threat. B. Lively's successful bullying tactics result in Baldoni's exile from his own film. Consistent with her pattern of vindictiveness, as the premiere of the film approached, Lively instructed Sony that she and the cast would not anticipate in any marketing or promotion of the film alongside Baldoni. She made certain that Baldoni was removed from all the artwork for the film posters. That's right, he's not even on the film. I think it's just her face. The posters included, and stripped him of his A Film By credit. Furthermore, Lively and Reynolds unfollowed him on social media, as did the author of the book, someone with whom Baldoni had maintained a 5-year personal relationship. I wonder if Blake Lively will present this as like, well, you know, even though they signed the return to production, whatever, and we start resuming filming again, maybe she's trying to say that Justin Baldoni, you know, because it was, maybe people didn't want to work around Justin Baldoni, that they were unable to film properly, and that's why Blake Lively had to take over. I don't know. Because that's crazy that they're like stripping him of all this stuff. Is it because when they returned to filming, people still couldn't work with him or something? And she deemed him as an ineffective director, and then she took over? Like, what's going on? I don't know. Or is she just an asshole and she took over? It became clear that Lively was working diligently to contrive a narrative that would explain why she took over the film and exiled Baldoni. Baldoni had no intention of ever making this information public, ever. He promoted the film as originally intended, gave Lively full credit and praise, and wanted the film to succeed. He wanted to move on. Lively, however, refused to let it go. Baldoni later received word that during the premiere of his movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, Reynolds approached Baldoni's agent at William Morris Endeavor and demanded that the agent drop Baldoni. Ooh, how do we know about this? The wielding of power and influence became undeniable. Baldoni and Wayfarer grew increasingly fearful of what Lively and Reynolds were capable of, as their actions seemed aimed at destroying Baldoni's career and personal life. Yeah, but why would they be doing this? Over fat comments? Over letting her edit the movie? Hire the music people? Like, why were they this vindictive then? Lively. I know. What if the bots are here now? Can't even tell. Can't even tell the difference. I could only rely on the OGs who were here before I covered this. Hi, Samurai. How are you doing today? Hello, hello. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. The Producers Guild Association. Yes, but now I want to know what are the requirements of getting the PGA mark? Hey, Dominique. Hello. How's it going? While in Sweden, oh, did I miss this? Oh, I missed this. Lively systematically excluded Baldoni from all marketing and promotional efforts with her and the cast of the film. He was not invited to any cast promotional events, cast screenings, premieres, photo shoot, or other cast campaigns. Baldoni was marginalized from the marketing process and left in the dark about the purported marketing plan, allegedly created by Lively and Sony, which was later referenced in Lively's CRD complaint as agreed to by all. While in Sweden, celebrating his wife's Swedish. While in Sweden celebrating his wife's birthday, Baldoni was informed that Lively demanded he not attend the film's premiere on August 9, 2024. Lively further threatened that if Baldoni attended the premiere, she and the majority of the cast would boycott. It remained unclear what Lively had communicated to or promised the cast. Yeah, I want to know. Cast members, speak up. Come on. But they now also refused to attend if Baldoni was present. The fact that Sony advised Wayfarer to concede underscores Lively and Reynolds' immense power and influence. 96. Baldoni and Wayfarer refused to succumb to the bullying tactics aimed at preventing them from attending the premiere of the film, a project they had financed, produced, and owned. This threat marked the culmination of a year-long campaign of intimidation and harassment. Although objectively egregious and shocking, the Wayfarer team had unfortunately grown accustomed to the bullying, full aware of the immense power of this couple wielded and the far-reaching extent of their influence. However, they refused to concede to the demand. Just days before the film's premiere, Baldoni was still unsure if he would even be allowed to attend. His friends and family, many traveling from outside New York, were left in limbo. Oh my God, unable to finalize travel plans or book flights. Finally, through Sony, Wayfarer persuaded Lively to permit Baldoni and the Wayfarer team, along with their friends and family, to attend, though only under demeaning and humiliating conditions. They were relegated to a separate theater to view the film, required to arrive at a different time than the rest of the cast, instructed to leave the venue immediately after Lively arrived. Baldoni was excluded from the official celebrity after party, despite it being paid for by Wayfarer. As a result, Baldoni had to quickly organize and personally fund a separate after party for himself and the Wayfarer team, forcing the company to cover the cost for the two events, one for Lively and one for their own friends, family, crew, and team. Upon arriving, Baldoni began participating in red carpet photos and interviews. However, his efforts were abruptly cut short when it was conveyed that Lively was on her way and he was instructed to stop immediately. He and his family were quickly ushered away, security personnel acting as though there was risk of escape, escorted Baldoni's group to the basement of the building. Oh my God. Then they were confined to a makeshift area surrounded by concession stand stock, with only fold-out tables and chairs arranged in a square. This sounds so sad. Surrounded by close friends, family, and soda bottles and a lot of love. Honestly, like, do they need to really write that? Like, I don't know. There's embellishments in this where I think they can just exclude. Like, we get it. You know the public's going to read this. Like, come on. You don't need to be like, they were surrounded by close friends and families, soda bottles, and a lot of love. The irony of being held in the basement on what was arguably one of the most important nights of Baldoni's career thus far was not lost on anyone. I feel like we're like spinning narratives here. Once the main character was deemed clear of Lively and her guests, Baldoni and his group were ushered into a separate theater to view the film. At the conclusion of the screening, they were again quickly escorted by security out of the building to avoid even a chance of interaction with Lively and her guests. The Wayfarer after party held separately from the celebrity event was a dry gathering, reflecting the values and themes that Wayfarer stands for. It's like this. Okay, we don't really need this. You know, it's like, oh, these people, like, they don't drink alcohol. Okay, that's what we stand for. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I think it's doing a little too much. It was intended by the Wayfair team from Los Angeles and their friends and family. The atmosphere and tone of the Wayfair after party was aligned with Baldoni's vision for the film, focusing on celebration and gratitude. Can anyone tell me who this Baldoni fella is? Justin Baldoni was an actor on Jane the Virgin. That's where he got his big break. He was on some other stuff, and then he created a company called Wayfair, which produced the It Ends With Us movie, which he was the director, and he was the lead actor in it. There you go. In the meantime, Baldoni was sidelined as Lively and Sony pressed forward with his original promotion strategy for the film. This plan, outlined in his initial proposal to Sony years prior, shared with Lively, communicated numerous times to both Sony and Lively, centered on a partnership with the organization No More. Founded in 2013, No More is a global initiative aimed at raising awareness. I don't know why Sony, that promotion thing that Sony had, like, so weird. I don't know who at Sony would have thought to promote the movie the way that they did. Why not, partner up? Like I don't know. I feel like the way that Justin Baldoni did was correct. Like partnering up with a organization to raise awareness, to have some serious talks about it. Like, yeah, don't focus on the depressing shit, but have some serious talks about it, right? Don't just fluff it up. I don't know. It's really weird that Sony, they're a huge fucking company. Like, who the fuck designed this promotional, like, talking piece thing? Staying true to his purpose for undertaking the film, Baldoni prioritized amplifying the voices of survivors of domestic violence. His efforts reflected the heart of the story, the film's story, and its profound impact on audiences. He returned to the core reason for embarking on the project in the first place, his initial outreach to the author of It Ends With Us 5 years earlier. Focusing on the film's message and its potential to create positive change, Baldoni poured himself into ensuring its success despite the mounting challenges. He owns a furniture company? No, Wayfarer. Wayfair is a production company, not Wayfair. These genuine efforts aimed at amplifying the voices of survivors impacted by the film were later mischaracterized and weaponized against Baldoni. The Times, failing to do its due diligence before publishing an article, describes these genuine efforts to bring attention to a serious issue as part of a calculated campaign to destroy Lively's reputation, and in doing so, participated in destroying plaintiffs' lives. C. Baldoni was forced to hire crisis PR to combat Lively's negative press push. In direct response to Lively's oppressive tactics, Wayfair and Baldoni retained Nathan and Tag as a protective measure ahead of the film's premiere. Contrary to the Times' portrayal, Tag's engagement focused exclusively on defensive strategy and fact verification, though, as is in standard industry practice, Tag prepared for the worst-case scenario based on Lively and Reynolds' prior behavior. No aggressive tactics, like astroturfings, were ever employed. Tag maintained its defensive position through its engagement, verifying facts, and correcting misinformation without retaliation, a strategy endorsed by Baldoni and Wayfair. Meanwhile, Lively's publicist Sloan launched a negative press push against Baldoni as early as August 1. Tag was made aware of Sloan planting an unfavorable, false, and defamatory story about Baldoni's, I don't know how to pronounce this, Baha'i faith to page 6. Sloan proceeded to feed false stories to the Daily Mail and the New York Post containing allegations that Baldoni was a sexual predator. So Sloan would also plant a false story alleging that there were multiple HR complaints during productions. Hey, Happy New Year, Chai. How are you doing today? Hello. Surely Sony wouldn't have backed Lively. Baldoni did nothing wrong. I think they're trying to say that the reason why Sony was catering to Blake Lively was because, they're like the power couple, her and Ryan Reynolds. But I mean, still, Sony's like a huge fucking corporation. This, in addition to Sloan weaponizing Baldoni and Wayfair hiring Tag and Nathan. Did we read this already? I think we read this already. Yeah, these are screenshots with Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively's PR, basically saying that the whole cast doesn't like Justin, calling Steph Jones, Justin Baldoni's former publicist, a liar. All right, so this is from Leslie Sloan, and who is this with? Is this with the James person? Not sure. Let's read. Leslie writes, "Your story is mean. I guess you and Melissa are in cahoots." They write back, "Hi, I reached out to you on Thursday via text, see above, to let you know that a reporter, Lillian, had sent some quotes and I was asked to write it. Included what they were. I ended up calling out on Friday so I could paint, so she ended up writing it. not putting blame on her, but the reason my name is also on the piece is because half the reporting in it is mine, i.e. the following quotes below. And I do talk to Melissa, but she is no way giving me any anti-Blake info. Blake's backlash is due to her own words and actions in interviews. The only thing she told me is what she told you, and that is this is all organic. These were my quotes used in the piece. During scenes depicting abuse, Justin failed to consider Blake's... That's it. It cuts off. Leslie writes back. Yes, mean. Your quotes are kind and true. Tired of the bullying she hate. I don't know. PP? I don't know what that means. They reply back. I knew early on it was going to happen, which is the first time I called you before the movie came out and trying to prevent anti-Blake BS. And I did for a minute. It was getting so bad for him, he had to hire Melissa. That's just about Baldoni. And then after that one interview where she said that her GPS and cell phone thing, it was obvious she was kidding, but it was just snowballed and it kept going and going. Do you know what interview they're talking about? The interview where she said her GPS/cell phone thing. What is that? Okay. It should be done soon. It will all turn around. You know how to flip the script better than anyone. Please make it turn around. Leslie writes back. I know you're friends with Melissa. Yeah, we are. I don't know. I don't know if I watch any other movies or TV shows with Justin Baldoni in it. I've never heard of him before. This is the first time I've heard of him. The It Ends With Us stuff. Okay. Is this with Melissa maybe? No, this is with someone else. They're liking City. Leslie writes back. Good for you. I know you're friends with Melissa. Someone writes back. Yeah, we are. Leslie writes, I am not paid to take people down. I'm honest. They write back. She hasn't done anything literally anti-Blake. Leslie KK. She told me the same thing that she told you, which is she said the backlash is organic. It's not. She did nothing but help get a movie, make tons of money. Justin makes tons. She was kind of promoting it as if it was Barbie, ... It's just based on the things that she said directly. They continue writing. Melissa definitely doesn't talk shit. She's like you, incredibly honest and fair. She told me what she did to steer Justin away from the drama, but nothing about Blake. I don't know. I could have sworn the Melissa text messages weren't they pretty bad too as well? Or were they just Jennifer's? I don't remember. Leslie Sloan writes back, not fair. They reply back, was literally zero Blake. Leslie Sloan, got it. But there are others at your paper and site. They reply back, 15,000, and I think some emoji. I read this before. This is about a reporter inquiring about the HR complaint, and then Tag replies back about the off the record. The only HR complaint was some guy who complained of ageism, and there was no actual intervention, but Blake and Ryan and Justin had a meeting at their place. In spite of Sloan's effort to lambast Baldoni and Nathan, it was Lively who ultimately stirred up her own public ridicule. Again, these are all the articles with Blake Lively. They're not impressed with her, not impressed with her promotion. I guess the outfits. Indeed, while Baldoni sought to focus on film's central premise, Lively incensed audiences with similarly flippant and tone-deaf remarks, encouraging viewers to grab your friends and wear your florals. Embarrassed by this self-induced backlash, Lively now seeks to vilify Baldoni in a dubious attempt to resuscitate her public image. I wonder who created this tagline though, because we did see the It Ends With Us Instagram. They put this in the captions, so it wasn't just like Blake Lively. Did it start with Blake Lively and then everyone else picked it up, or what happened? While the Times thrust allegation of an offensive smear campaign concocted by plaintiffs, the incomplete and misleading evidence supplied by Lively and on which the Times purports to rely proffers a warped view of reality. Setting aside the unscrupulous means by which the cited communications were obtained, the Times, as with Lively's CRD complaint, deliberately take these communications out of context to bolster a fallacious narrative, designed in concert with Lively to quash plaintiffs. When viewed in full context, these hand-picked, doctored communications lose their manufactured impropriety and disprove Lively's allegations. All right, so this is in the complaint. Here are the text messages, and this is what was excluded. Okay. Cancel, the mail's going nuts. Damn, this is unfair because it's also not me. Everything now looks like it's me, maybe not to you. They reply back, no, it totally looks like it's his side. I think it's going to be more string of them. Okay. So again, this is talking about when they're trying to protect Justin Baldoni, and Justin Baldoni said that, not in love with the document they sent. I'm not feeling the protection I felt on the call. Okay. What was included? Not in love. This is again from Justin Baldoni, I think. Not in love with the document they sent. Not sure of feeling protection I felt on the call. Jen writes back, this is the first time I've personally gone through scenario planning with them, so I think just let them discuss the thinking behind the document and the actual process and protocol of how they implement these things. That's the most important part of this, and how it quickly can be shut, and how they can quickly shut things down and play stories in your favor. Be honest on this call, and let's give them real feedback to each point. This message was included from Justin. Yeah, it just feels like there's so much defense, and also them feeling strong, like she's going to do something just a bit concerning what everyone had originally thought. Now, what was excluded was this message by Jennifer Abel. The truth is your defense. You have done nothing wrong, and there is over a year worth of facts and paper trails, and people can go on background as your defense. This document is an overview, and I think as the situation has evolved and as it's become realized at great lengths she has gone in order to cut you out of not just the film, but the promo, premiere, etc., we need to prepare as if she will go through any great lengths with the press. It's a good thing if we all prepare for the worst outcome, because then if and when it's not as bad, we are over-prepared. So again, they're trying to say that, you know, the document maybe looks bad, right? But we're just preparing. We haven't actually done anything yet. Anything that happened to Blake Lively, they're claiming that it happened organically. Again, these are text messages, and they're showing what was excluded from the original complaint. This is with, I think this is Melissa Nathan writing to Jennifer Abel. So what was included? We can't write it down to him. We can't write down, we will destroy her. We will go to this. We will do this. We will do this. We will do this. What was excluded? Of course not. But I told him that's the point of talking through. What was included? He has to look at his information document for us to be armed with. That's all. Imagine if a document saying all the things that he wants us ends up in the wrong hands. What was excluded? The work is not the document. The work is the fucking crisis. LOL. What was excluded? If it's any, this is by Jen, right? Okay, she replies back. If it's any consolation, he's like this with everything. Overthink, stresses, high anxiety. What was also excluded? He just needs to be educated on how this process works. What was included? You know we can bury anyone, but I can't write that to him. I will. It will be very tough. Now, they're totally talking to the people right now, because when they are, I don't know, like they're saying that this right here is a response to this right here. I'll be very tough. It's like you're doing it after the fact. I don't know. Were you talking about how you were going to be tough in response to Justin and how you're going to work with him? I don't know, maybe. Or was she going to be very tough with burying someone? I don't know. It could be either way, right? But I don't know if like them including all these messages really says too much. It's like, okay, it's like a little bit better, but I don't know if it's that much better. I don't know. Here's another message. Let's see. This is again, I think with Melissa Nathan to Jen Abel in regards to we could bury anyone. I can't write that to him. I will be very tough. She also writes. So this part was all excluded below. And also, as you know, this is twisting, turning, because we don't know their moves. But don't worry, I get it. I may just have a tank of Pepto-Bismol and I'll be ready for the call. She replies back. Yes, exactly. And maybe that's how you approach the Baha'i thing. That we have no idea this approach and why we can't be proactive, as we have no idea what she will come out with. She replies back, done. They reply back, Pepto mixes with espresso and you're good to go. They reply back, he also cannot come across as a victim here. We are walking a very fine line. They reply back, exactly. He can't look guilty either by shying away from the stuff. I mean, I guess they're trying to show that there are more text messages that were omitted, but I don't know if this really, what's the point of even including all this? I don't know. Does it really help them? Am I missing something? More excluded text messages. This is in regards to Lively being destroyed and buried. Wayfair and Baldoni directed Miss Nathan and her team to actively engage in retaliatory social manipulation campaign. Okay. So I think this is from Justin Baldoni when he texted the Hailey Bieber like being a bully thing. He like texted in this thread and he wrote, "This is what we would need." I think, if I remember correctly. Someone replies back, "Yes, I literally just spoke to Melissa about this on break about what we discussed last night for social and digital. Focus on Reddit, TikTok, and Instagram." I see a date here, but I don't know what date this was. I don't know if this was like afterwards, next day, or weeks later. Who fucking knows? There's a celebrity kind, some link thing that was excluded. She wants to interview me. Want to have her email me. She's emailing. I said I would make it happen. This was excluded. I don't know if this means anything. What does this mean? What does this help with? I'm confused. Is it supposed to explain like him bringing up the Hailey Bieber thing? I don't know. Or is he talking about this is what we need? Like, is he trying to say that the person that wrote this article about Hailey Bieber wants to interview him? Or I don't know. Okay. All right. They talk about the retaliation campaign using, they weaponize a digital army to appear to make the content and I guess the comments look authentic. All right. So this is, who the fuck is this? I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. Someone says, hi team. So far, extremely limited pickup on Daily Mail or page 6. We'll continue to keep an eye out and send pieces as needed, but so far it's been steady coverage on pure speculation. We've also started to see a shift on social due largely to Jed and his team's efforts to shift the narrative towards shining a spotlight on Blake and Ryan. Again, we'll continue to send links and screenshots, but wanted to send an update in the meantime. That was included. Here's what was all excluded. Thanks, Katie. We're seeing the same thing. Maybe this is a tag team? What was also excluded. Thanks, Katie. I'd like to have a quick Zoom today if we can all arrange without Justin. Is that possible for all? Someone writes, I can join. Just running around, so might not be on the camera. Just let me know when. Someone writes back, happy to jump on too, likely off camera. No one needs to see this today. Someone writes, would a 6 p.m. ET call work? I could also circulate a dial if that's easier for us versus a Zoom. This was all excluded. So I don't know if they're like, hey, look at this one screenshot where you don't see the people trying to manipulate, trying to like weaponize a digital army against Blake Lively. Like, we're just talking normal conversation here. We're not doing any I don't know, like scheming, but like this is just one screenshot. It's just one screenshot of like nothing happening. I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something here. This part I'm getting a little confused. All right, let's see. This is in regards to having this Jed guy shifting the narrative. All right, let's see. This is with Jen. Maybe this is Melissa and Jen, maybe. So Jen writes, that's why I was worried about LAT. I don't know what LA is. It LA Times? What's LAT? What was excluded? No request though. I think people are bored. What was included? The majority of socials are so pro Justin. I don't even agree with half of them. They reply back, oh, I agree. I'm just anxious per usual. LAT, maybe Los Angeles Times, reach out to Justin's old assistant. They reply back, you're okay. It's been too much press, too chaotic. I told you, People Magazine messaged me. Then they messaged me once again saying they're radio silence on everything. They write back, that was a request he sent through, nothing to me. And then Roger Friedman from Showbiz 411 called me, but I'm leaving it. LOL Roger. So this was all excluded. But I don't know if that helps. Like, how does this help them whatsoever? Because this was the message that was included. Like, oh, the majorities are so pro-Justin. I don't agree with half of them. I don't know how this changes the context by adding the before and after. Right? Because we knew that these messages were taken out of a thread. Because it was just one message. Okay, so all this was excluded. This is a continuation of the conversation above. LOL Roger. They reply back. Yeah, Jillian reached out. Redacted ET, who just annoys me. And I saw that Katie said limited pickup, but I've honestly had not seen any of those two pieces. Oh, okay. So we're referring back to the older conversation. Katie said limited pickup, but I've honestly not seen any of those two pieces. They write back, just keep on giving nothing, not one thing from those pieces. I mean, that was just a lot of work, just talking everyone off the fucking ledge for those two pieces. They reply back, literally, I feel like I've been hit by a truck. They reply back. And then after the weekend, people are going to move completely past. It's boring now. Nothing came out for anyone. Oh, boy, were you wrong. I bet you have that constant anxiety. Okay, so I guess what they're trying to show that there were more to the conversation, and it just shows that they weren't giving anyone anything. They weren't feeding fake stories, I guess. They weren't the ones that were involved in this. There's been limited pickup, maybe. Okay. Jen writes, oh my God, yes, you will die. Don't know what that's in reference to. What was included? He doesn't realize how lucky he is right now. We need to press on him just how fucking lucky. The whispering in the ear, the sexual connotations, like Jesus fucking Christ. Other members feeling uncomfortable watching it. I mean, there is just so much. Doesn't matter if it's not true. Here's what is excluded. Oh, doesn't matter if it's not true, was excluded. I don't think they will get that. They think the truth wins. No, it doesn't. Crying smiley face replies. And I'm like, we're dealing with a psychopath who literally called you a sexual predator. Let's be happy with difficult. So I don't know, this could have different meanings. It could be that like, okay, well, Justin was a sexual predator and he's lucky that he wasn't called that, or Justin was accused of being a sexual predator and good thing that accusation didn't get out into the media outlet, right? More text messages. Let's all be happy with difficult. So continuation, they reply back, I have it on text message, by the way. Jen says, unbelievable. Reply back, and let's be really happy with difficult. And he told him we took out misogynist. Jen writes back, Leslie can't possibly believe that. They reply, let's give it a day to calm and let's call Jamie together tomorrow and we can explain to him a few things together, and socials are really, really ramping up in his favor. She must be furious. It's actually sad because it just shows you how people really want, I think, to hate women. All right, we're getting a little bit more context. In the article, the Times read Lively's filing includes excerpts from thousands of pages of text messages and emails that she obtained through a subpoena. These and other documents reviewed by the New York Times. However, the Times failed to review and or investigate the plethora of communications demonstrating that plaintiff has zero intentions of smearing Lively and every intention of simply promoting the film and its message. Hey, HTC, how are you doing today? Do you know when Blake Lively lost her father? When was that date? Have you guys seen Phone Booth? Yes, that movie sucked. The one where the guy's at the phone booth and then he has to stay there or else he gets shot or something. Mad respect to the people compiling this. Can you imagine how much research had to go into these? These are just text messages that were just like put out there. I don't know. This is like juicy drama farming, I guess. So maybe going through this, it's just like you're just enjoying yourself. He was a publicist? Oh, I have no idea. I don't know anything about Blake Lively and her family. Like her, like mom and dad and stuff like that. I know that she's like a Nepo baby from what I've heard. Justin, good morning, team. So I was just thinking about the response to this weekend, and I feel like what we should do is make sure to emphasize the voices of the survivors. It's going to be a lot of buzz, how much money the movie made, but I want to be the one that's always direct, the back to the survivors. So I would love to come up with some sort of video or carousel of messages from survivors and the response to the film. This is a text message with someone and Justin Baldoni. Whoever tried to do it, they failed in getting a linking abuse of story. Wayfair is a big studio now, propelled to a tier upwards. Protecting you and the brand is something you need to do. You want to see a headline? Let's see. Movie news. Harvey Weinstein publicist Leslie Sloan. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Justin writes back, do you believe Leslie? Can you spin the crisis PR thing so they're actually factual? There has been lies put out up against powerful people, just protecting myself. Tag represents a lot of people, and that headline was just to smear more. So do we say Blake and Ryan hire Harvey Weinstein publicist? She replies back, that's a conversation I'm going to have with Jen/Jamie today. I think this is Melissa and Nathan. Justin writes to the tag team in a thread or in a group chat. Hey, tag team, I've been seeing random IG comments on random posts defending me by people who are private with no followers and they feel like bots. Can you please confirm we're not doing any of that? I really don't want bots defending me as it feeds into their potential narrative. They write back, I can fully confirm we do not have bots. This is not also what we do. Bots look fake to anyone. The other team is doing something very specific in terms of what they do. I know Jamie and Jed connected on this. Bots and fan accounts also run particularly organically by now with all the AI platforms and Google Analytics itself. There is no bot army. That is a myth these days. I don't know. Because sometimes I feel like, no, there's still a bot army out there. Any digital team these days is far more intelligent to utilize something so obvious. Justin writes, okay, please monitor. Things I'm worried about is that we are planting these stories, which is obviously not true. I mean, what if he's being lied to? What if they're being disingenuous? Or maybe they're not using the bots, right? Maybe it's someone else using the bots. Maybe it's like fan accounts. I don't know. Pro Justin teams. I think Jen Abel chiming in here. The people saying that there are bots and this is a PR play on your side is a minority compared to the thousands who are calling it what it is and reacting to Blake's own actions and interviews. We never want the action of the minority to dictate what we do on our end. We have to always look at the big picture, which is still enormously on your side. But I do see a need from fans to move on. People are now commenting that they are bored with the many articles that are coming out about this drama. When we move on, they do too. So we need to find ways to keep elevating not just a DV reaction, but also other things in your life like family, being back home, and Wayfair. That's not tone deaf in my opinion, but sends a message that you are focusing on what really matters, and that's what will help with the Blake narrative too. My POV. We got a date here, August 19. Melissa Nathan. Good morning. Sharing with you a perfect example of why we don't use bots. Oh, now we know why it's old number and new numbers, because her old number was taken away. It was probably her old device that she had with her company phone. That's why Jen Abel now has like a new number labeled in some of these threads. Gotcha. Okay. Because at some point, so now I guess we know Jennifer Abel old number would have been probably after she was fired. Or sorry, new number would have been after she was fired. I think, if you're like putting everything together. Again, this is the same screenshot about accusing Blake Lively of using bots and how she needs to fire her bot team. Elise sprinkled them in. Melissa Nathan writes, completely unsolicited story from TMZ. Blake has a huge ego. JB was liked by many cast and crew. I mean, if that's true, then why were they not promoting with him? Why were they? I don't know. This is also her ego being bruised. Jen Abel, old number. The post has similar tip, not from any of us, obviously. Melissa Nathan writes back, totally not from us. Jen writes, these are clearly people on set coming out to defend, Justin Baldoni. I wonder if more people are going to come out and defend him, which is good. We just let them do their thing. Melissa Nathan, the reporter told her rep is working overtime. I think I read this earlier. An interview with Blake Lively. Okay, is this Blake Lively's outfit? Who is this? I'm not too sure whose outfit this is. So someone's writing to Melissa. You did not do any of these. We did not do any of these. Who writes like this? Oh gosh, this is all organic. Response, crazy. Replies back, stupid, really stupid. And I can't believe she didn't mention working with a shelter or DV. None of this is your fault. It's breathtaking how tone deaf it was. What's the date for this? I don't know. Melissa Nathan, or sorry, is it Jennifer Abel? I don't know whose text message this is. They write a good one to boost. My experience with Justin Baldoni and how it relates to what is happening in the press with It Ends With Us. The TikTok by Molly. They write back, that's so nice. I will send them across the team. This is a tag thread with Justin Baldoni. Hey, tag team, I've been seeing random IG comments. We already read this response. Okay, so here's a screenshot of a account with 0 posts, 0 followers, following 26. This is an example of someone trolling Blake on all my posts, but that doesn't seem like a real account. They reply back, yet it could also be an actual troll, as they exist too. But yes, 100%, but this is not anyone from your team whatsoever. Someone writes, let's discuss at some point. We need to be careful not to put out any stories that look so placed. Definitely open a discussion as a group on different ideas, especially as it links into new projects to clear it all up. Justin Baldoni writes, definitely don't want to play stories and yet just want to change the narrative. I wish they would write that. I only said nice things about her and never spoke disparagingly of the cast, and so it's apparent the feud only works one way. And would love to start to move towards the future of what's next. Not sure when the time would be right, but I'm announcing that I'm directing Pac-Man. I think would be a good move sometime soon. They write back, we totally agree. And as I think you can see, the majority of the press and social-wise agrees with you as well. 106. Worse still, there are documented communications overlooked by Lively and the Times that expressly refute Lively's erroneous accusations by way of example. Was it August 21st that she was fired? I thought it was August 15. I could be wrong. All right, so this is addressing when Blake Lively was undressed / when she was breastfeeding, and then they were walking in her trailer. Again, we already covered this. Here's a screenshot of Blake Lively telling Justin Baldoni to come. She's pumping her trailer if you want to work on her lines. Though the Times admit they had access to thousands of relevant text messages and emails, its skewed reporting makes painfully obvious that it failed to substantiate the false accusations hurled by Lively. Indeed, the objective evidence refutes any allegations that plaintiffs engaged in a smear campaign to bury Lively and destroy her reputation. Lively's wound was entirely self-inflicted. That plaintiffs retained crisis public relations to defend against Lively's unrelenting assault does not change this fact. D. Stephanie Jones discloses confidential communications. Again, where did these text messages come from in the original complaint? 108. Curiously, neither Lively shared the complaint nor the article makes any mention of the embattled publicist Stephanie Jones. Jones, a former publicist to Wayfair, now insists as a part of a separate lawsuit filed in New York that she was swept up in plaintiff's so-called smear campaign, and yet on August 14, 2024, Jones sent an email to Heath detailing her recommended strategy. Flood the zone with positives. We need to ensure that we promote positive narratives that media outlets cannot ignore. Currently, most stories are heavily biased towards Blake's perspective, leaving Justin unrepresented. It's crucial that we fight for every inch of the story, which requires far more effort than typical crisis PR want to put forth in our experience working with specialized crisis teams. Prepare alternate stories. We should mobilize a robust network of supporters and third-party advocates ready to counter these narratives on deep backgrounds, as well as some on the record, making it clear that these claims being made are untrue and unfounded. I mean, this is like so vague. And so far, it's like flood the zone with positives. It's like there's nothing here that talks about, okay, we're going to destroy Blake Lively's reputation. We're going to plant these like, fake stories, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with this. But again, there needs to be more context here. Like preparing alternate stories. What kind of alternate stories, right? Are they going to be like fake stories? Or they're going to be like real stories that's backed by, his supporters and his advocates. I don't know. Stephanie Jones is his publicist, so having an email like this doesn't surprise me. We need more context, more information. Wayfair later terminated Jones for, amongst other things, having allegedly leaked information to the Daily Mail, despite specific instruction from Wayfair not to. Now, this is interesting. Jones is notorious for exacting her revenge on any client brave enough to escape her grasp. Jones is equally notorious for her alleged maltreatment of her current and former employees alike. Wayfair and Able are no exception. It is hardly coincidence that all the communications on which Lively and the Times now rely were purportedly produced by Jones' company, Jones Work LLC, pursuant to the subpoena. The propriety of this alleged subpoena is unverified, so they're saying they're like, was she really given a subpoena, or did she just give all the information to Blake Lively? The propriety of the alleged subpoena is unverified and a minimum highly questionable given the Jones' involvement and by means in which Jones first obtained these confidential communications. Abel, a former employee of Jones Works, was forced to relinquish her electronic devices when confronted by a Jones Works security guard and attorney upon separation from the company. 6 weeks after she had put a notice and had shared her plan to start her own business, Jones, on the heels of a damning Business Insider article and hemorrhaging clients, insisted that Abel turn over her electronic devices to allow Jones Works to delete all confidential and proprietary information therefrom. Though Jones initially agreed to release Abel's personal cell phone number, she reneged. 4 months later, Abel's text messages are now the subject of Lively's CRD complaint and the article. Plaintiffs are informed and believe that Jones invited the subject subpoena to circumvent her confidentiality obligations to Wayfair and inflict the most unethical form of revenge. So maybe she hinted at Blake Lively, like, hey, there was these text messages, like, I didn't do this, my employee went rogue. If you subpoena me, maybe you can get these messages and I can give it to you. The Times publishes a false and defamatory article based on Lively's administrative complaint. The New York Times is one of the most widely read newspaper in the United States and once upon a time served as a primary newspaper of record publishing all the news that fit to the print. The Times was considered a paragon of journalistic integrity and excellence, the gold standard for journalism in the United States and a highly respected news outlet internationally. So they talk about the Times, background, blah, blah, blah. However, within 20 years, they lost their way. At 9:43 p.m. on December 20th, TUI requested plaintiffs' response regarding a crisis communication operation conducted on behalf of Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, and Wayfair Studios to protect their reputations and harm Blake Lively's as described in a legal complaint filed today. TUI wrote in part, we are seeking a response to the claims on retaliation through this PR campaign and would love to welcome the opportunity to talk with you on the record. Please offer any on the record comment as well as any other information you think we should know. Additionally, notify us of any inaccuracies. So again, they were given like 14 hours to respond, and technically they didn't even get the 14 hours. They got like 12 hours. This is the response. I think we already read this. This is a response that they gave saying, oh, these are categorically false accusations. Blake Lively did this to try to fix her reputation. However, her reputation was tarnished by her own doing. At 10:11 a.m. on December 21st, the Times published the article. Notwithstanding the Times was made aware of the egregiously defamatory allegations contained therein, it proceeded with the publication without further inquiry. Indeed, in its rush to publish a one-sided, unsubstantiated story on behalf of Lively, the Times got it dramatically wrong. The aftershocks have been disastrous for plaintiffs, and they now reluctantly, knowingly, the damage cannot be fully undone, bring suit to hold the Times accountable for its egregious misfire. So again, first cause of action, they are suing for libel. They're suing for false light invasion of privacy. So when I first read that, I read it as false light invasion, but I believe it's false light, like, bring something to false light, invasion of privacy. So maybe there's a comma right there that could help. Promissory fraud. So again, that's for, hey, you get 14 hours to reply to this, and then they publish it at 10 a.m. Breach of implied in fact contract. Here's what they want. Plaintiffs pray for judgment against the defendants as follows. 1, general and special damages in the amount according to proof. So they are suing for $250 million. For all statutory penalties authorized by the law, for punitive and or exemplary damages in an amount sufficient to punish defendants for their wrongful conduct alleged therein, and to deter such conduct in the future. For liquidated costs, for costs of suit incurred herein. For attorney's fees as printed by law or contract, for pre-judgment interest, for such other relief as the court may deem proper. They're also requesting for a jury trial. Where is that part? Here it is. Demand for jury trial. Let's have the jury trial. Okay. We got these like text messages that are like taken out of context. We're getting like little snippets of screenshots here and there. We need the full context. Give us everything. Let's duke it out in trial. I don't know if it's ever going to get to that. Probably not. It's probably going to be a settlement somewhere. Oh boy. All right. So we are done with the lawsuit that was filed by Justin Baldoni's team, Wayfair Studios, Melissa Nathan of the agency PR group, Jennifer Abel. She's got her new agency now, RW Communications. And then we have a Jed Wallace on there. We have a Steve Sarowitz on there. So I wonder if they're going to continue to be represented by the same attorneys, or maybe at some point they're going to like split in the future. I don't know. I wonder how Justin Baldoni feels right now. All right, y'all. So what do you guys think about this? It was a lot. It was crazy. Oh no, what happened? Wait, unban really quick. Can you let me see. How do I unban really quick? Lemmy Wings, you're back. Did you make a new account or something? I saw that message and I was like, I wonder where that's going. First ban of the year. Come back. I don't know if you're a different Lemmy Wings. I think you're a different one though. I don't know. It might not be. Okay, so we finally got to hear from Justin's side of the story. We got to see more text messages. Text messages are put into more context. I mean, honestly, did it really help them a lot? Maybe I just have some confusion with some of the text messages, possibly. But I don't know. I mean, if this is true, it could be really bad because I would feel bad for Justin Baldoni. He completely got steamrolled. He got ousted out of his own movie that he directed, that his company produced. He's been working on the past 5 years. He, got the rights from. My question is, though, is that why would he be treated this badly? Why would he be treated this badly? Is it because they're just assholes? Why would they push him out like this? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. Hopefully these questions will be answered in the future. Poor jury. Yeah, we're going to go through like lots of text messages, lots of emails. More people are going to be dragged into this, but maybe there'll be a settlement. But man, what a way to end the fucking year. Like I said, it was as if people were just trying to put in their lawsuits before the year ended. All right, guys, 2024, let's put them in, hurry it up, get them in there. Because not only do we have this lawsuit, but Blake Lively formerly also filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni in New York. I haven't found that lawsuit yet. I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere, but apparently it just reflects what was in the complaint that she filed with the California Civil Rights Department. So I'm assuming it's going to be like very, 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 very similar, if not maybe the same. Let's see the New York Times response to this. New York Times, Blake Lively. Did they respond yet? New York Times, Justin Baldoni lawsuit. LA Times. Oh, here it is. Can I read the article? I thought we had like another response from them. In a statement, the Times said, "We plan to vigorously defend against the lawsuit. The role of an independent news organization is to follow the facts where they lead. Our story was meticulously and responsibly reported. It was based on a review of thousands of pages of original documents. Leak those! Including the text messages and emails that we quote accurately and at length in the article." In the complaint, the Times reported that Ms. Lively had filed a legal complaint in the civil rights... Oh, I just wanted to read their complaint. Oh, sorry, the response. Okay, I think that's it for now. All right. Yep. Got a federal lawsuit with New York. Yep. Yeah, I honestly thought maybe Blake Lively filed the complaint just so she can just have her narrative, her side of the story out there, and it was just going to be left to die. I wasn't sure if she was actually going to go after Justin Baldoni and Wayfair and like all those other people, because once you do that, then you have to go through the discovery process where they can also have access to your communications as well, potentially, right? So that could be a headache. But yeah, it seems like everyone's going after each other. Can't wait for the discovery process. Wild. We have a lot of cases that we're going to be covering this year that are wild. Back to our normal cases, though. Normal cases that we have coming up. January, I think we have a lot of hearings that are going to happen. I heard Donna Adelson got a trial date. Sorry, my stomach is growling so much. I'm so hungry. Donna Adelson, possibly trial in June, maybe? Is it June? When is this article written? Jury selection is set for June 3rd. Oh, Donna Adelson. Donna Adelson. Is she going to get out and get her pho, or is she going to continue to rot and stay in prison? Jail and then prison. But yeah, Donna Adelson has her jury selection is set for June 3rd, and then opening statements June 9th. Oh my God. I got to clear my summer schedule. No vacations. And then Trial TV posted a screenshot of Sarah Boone's, let's see, Trial TV Live. Trial TV. We got a screenshot of Sarah Boone. Oh my God, what is this quality of camera? What is this? Trial TV writes, Sarah Boone's new mugshot after being transferred from the women's reception center in Osala? I don't know how to pronounce that. Sarah Boone, now convicted felon for the murder of her husband or boyfriend, George Torres Jr., has been transferred to the women's reception center in Osala, Florida. Jesus. The Florida's Women's Reception Center is a unique facility with multiple missions, including reception, inpatient mental health services, short-term sentence management, housing for general population. These missions are carried in separate quadrants, allowing for a focused approach tailored to the needs of different inmate groups. The separation ensures that each mission operates effectively, creative, distinct environments that fulfill specific program characteristics. I felt like this was like a whole lot. What is this? Is this their mission statement on their website? I feel like this just says like a whole lot of nothing. It's just like fluff words. I think this is written by the Florida Women's Reception Center, right? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's Sarah Boone right there. All right, thumbs up. Check out Trial TV Live. Got a Sarah Boone mugshot. What a jump scare. I'm sorry. I should have warned y'all. I should have given you guys like a 10-minute warning to prepare yourself. I can't keep up with modern lingo. Oh, did Lemmy comes back? I don't think that's the Lemmy Winks that I know though. It might just be someone else. The account was created in 2020. I don't know, Jan. I have no idea. I was waiting for a follow-up. I always thought it was like you got me feeling a certain type of way, but more like in a romantic love sense. That's what I was getting to. You got me acting up. I don't know. Well, wait, maybe they'll come back next stream. All right, so guys, today I just wanted to just read the lawsuit, and that's all I wanted to do because it was like 87 pages long. I didn't want to add, I mean, I added commentary obviously because I had to, right? But definitely we'll probably do more of a maybe deep dive or something into this, or wait until more documents come in the future. But today I just want to just read it, have it out there, and maybe I would do another video where I shorten it because my initial, how long is the stream? Shit, I was trying to be quick too. I don't think it was quick. It was my upstream or uptime. How long? Oh my god, I was streaming for 3 hours. Ah, what a long stream. Okay, I was being ambitious. Ay, ay, ay. So maybe I would do a shorter video where I recap it. Maybe not. We'll see. But I did do a shorter video recapping Blake's original complaint. And then I did a live stream of Justin Baldoni's the lawsuit against him. That one I think was only like an hour long though. So I don't think I'm going to make a shorter video of that one. This one, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have, what are you guys talking about? Oh, you're talking about like the anti-slap stuff. That was brought up during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial as well. We can talk about during a different stream. I'm hungry. I need to go eat. I need to go eat. Yeah, it's like my grandma sweater. Got my grandma sweater on. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a happy new year. I hope you guys are safe. And oh, do we have any updates about New Orleans yet? Oh my God, super fucking sad, dude. Any update on New Orleans and the attacker? So apparently there's this fucking person that drove a Ford F-150, like a fucking truck, and just drove it into a crowd of people in New Orleans. Yeah, did you guys hear about that? It's so crazy. It happened 3 a.m. And so like my brother's in New Orleans. He was literally there in the French Quarter. I called him and I was like so upset because I was like, oh my God, I hope he's okay. Like he hasn't texted in the group chat. He's like ahead of me in time. I called him and he didn't answer and I was like, holy fucking shit. But then he answered the second time and I was like, dude, are you okay? And he's like waking up. He's like, oh my God, like people are texting me, asking me if I'm okay. Apparently he was there he left 15 minutes before the attack happened, like 10 to 15 minutes before the attack happened. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, 10 people have been reported to be dead so far, and I think they sent like 27 people to the hospital. Crazy. Why are people like this? Like just indiscriminately attacking? Indiscriminately? I don't get it. As long as Justin doesn't try to sage the judge. Oh gosh. I've never been saged before. Be careful. Yeah, just be careful. I mean, honestly, like whenever there's like large gatherings or like holiday celebrations, I always try to avoid. I don't know, because like even though the chance of it happening is low, but still, it's scary. Scary. There's a Vegas one. Is that the one with the Cybertruck on fire? Some people do be lacking in getting attention. Yep. But what's the point, you know? It's like you're getting in a shootout with the police. You're probably going to die anyways. What's the fucking point? I don't know. Can't wait to hear more information about this. But yeah, super fucking sad, man. For all the people in New Orleans. I heard most of them are locals rather than tourists. Oh, I haven't heard anything about that. I just know they called it as an act of terrorism. Okay, I probably will. Oh, all these are live right now. All right, I'm gonna go check out more of the New Orleans stuff. But yeah, super super sad. I feel so sad for the family members, man. Hey, Maribel, how are you doing today? How's it going? I think maybe moving forward, places that are like highly dense with pedestrians, or there's like celebrations, you know, holiday stuff. Because I know they have barriers, but maybe they have to expand that barrier even more, which is an inconvenience to, you know, people who live in that area, to businesses, but maybe they have to expand the area more. That way, no cars, you know, can be just plowing through and coming through like that, right? More, you have like more of a heads up that maybe the car's going to come and plow through. I don't know. So sad. It's just so crazy and scary to be in like large groups. Hey, Melissa, how are you doing today? We love you too. Yeah, I mean, there were barriers in place in New Orleans, but somehow, I mean, it's Ford F-150, right? So I don't know if they just like plowed through it or if they went around it or maybe the barriers weren't good enough. I don't know. Because usually it was just like, it's like cement barriers they put down, right? I don't know. But yeah, they need to, fuck, it's like super sad. All right, y'all. They just use regular place barriers. They have hydraulic barriers there. Oh, it's a Cybertruck? Jesus. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a happy new year. What a way to start the new year, right? Like yesterday, I heard about this lawsuit, and then this morning, the New Orleans thing. Like, I don't know. So sad. All right, guys. Hope you guys take care. I hope you guys have a good one. And now that we have, have heard from both sides, we've heard from Blake Lively's side, we've heard from Justin Baldoni's side. I mean, there's going to be way more information that's going to come out of all this because there's going to be more lawsuits that are happening. We'll get to the discovery process. Things will get leaked and we'll see what happens. But crazy stuff indeed. Crazy stuff indeed. And these are not just like, hey, maybe they misinterpreted this. It's like, no, this didn't even happen. This happened this way. It's like super wild. But I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate, I love covering stuff like this and having you guys here to discuss it with. Yeah. Hope you guys have a good one. I rarely curse. I curse sometimes, but I mean, cursing happens. I'm sorry. Cursing happens. But I mean, I rarely curse though. I used to curse so much more when I streamed. Have a good one, everyone. Bye, Chai. I would say just don't listen to me on speaker. Have earbuds on. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still going to curse. I'm sorry. I'm not going to change. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Stay safe out there. And again, Happy New Year. Unhinged Kurgi curses like a sailor. I used to curse way more. Okay, I've toned it down a lot. I don't know. Maybe Disha is just trolling me. Maybe they're trolling me. All right, bye guys. Take care. Feel free to join the Discord if you guys like. If you want to know more about this whole drama with the It Ends With Us movie and all the other stuff, check out the video that I posted yesterday. It's a shortened version of Blake Lively's complaint. We have Justin Baldoni's lawsuit right now. And then we also have another lawsuit that we covered. It's a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. So lots of stuff happening. I'll keep an eye out for Blake Lively's lawsuit. And if there's anything different about it, I'll cover it. But I'm assuming her lawsuit's going to be reflective of what's already been put in the complaint. So, all right, y'all. Have a good one. Take care. Yeah, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. Belle Moon, Nicole, Dominique, Harungle, Sia, Rain. I hope you guys take care. LeDroit, Dominique, Maribel, LV. Bye, good guy Steve. Bye, Bleep. Bye, Chai. Michael Lucky. I'll see you, Jan. I'll see you later. And then bye, Moondog. Also, when are we gonna play some Marvel Rivals? I heard it is cross-platform. We should play. All right, y'all. Bye.